Alright guys, so it's been a while since I've made a video. Just been kind of busy with life, school and stuff. With the new Medieval 2 game coming out for mobile, I thought I would go ahead and do a video on Medieval 2 on desktop now. I've been playing Medieval 2 since it came out. I mean, Rome Total War, the original Rome Total War, was actually my first Total War game. I think I started playing that in like 2005, I want to say, which is about the time I got my first gaming PC. I was in my last year of middle school back then, and I remember, playing these games on just a single core computer, and my very first graphics card was a NVIDIA 7600. So, technology's definitely come a long way since then. But yeah, I thought I'd go ahead and just show the overall Medieval 2 experience, for those that have not played this game before, with it coming out. I know a lot of people are getting more and more interested in mobile games, and mobile games, there's a few mobile games that I play, but generally speaking, mobile games aren't my kind of thing. But I thought I would at least hop on my PC here and show you guys what it's like on the computer version of the game. So now typically I think the game developers intended everybody to start out with England, because if you do the tutorial, you do the Norman campaign, which is basically, England. They start out as like the Normans, and you move to England's mainland, and have a bunch of battles there and kind of establish yourself as a kingdom. But we're just going to go straight into the grand campaign here. I'm going to go ahead and play as England here, just so everybody can kind of see. I think England is pretty well-rounded. I think they are the easiest faction to play as well, because you're just up here in the northwest corner. You have a little bit of like northern, of modern-day France, pretty much the Normandy area. But once you kind of conquer this whole little island area up there, you're pretty safe, honestly, from like invasions and stuff. So I feel like they are the easiest nation to play as. And even over here, if you look at their strengths, both superb longbowmen and strong infantry. Honestly, I think they do have the best archers in the entire game. Obviously, medieval England was famous for their longbowmen and strong infantry. That's definitely true, because they have the armored swordsmen. But when it says weaknesses, fields a poor variety of cavalry. Now that might be true, because they don't have like missile cavalry at all. But English knights are still badass. So I don't even consider that a weakness. I mean, they're badass. I don't know how else to say it. But anyway, so difficulty, I'm gonna be playing it on hard. I feel like that is probably the more realistic difficulty level, because when you put it on normal, I feel like the AI or the enemy just breaks too easy. So we are going to be playing it on hard difficulty. I don't want to move it up to very hard, because I think that's got penalties on my side, if I recall correctly. I don't necessarily want penalties on my side, but I definitely want the enemy buffed a little bit as far as their morale. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. I'll go ahead and show the cutscene just so everybody can kind of get an idea of what's going on.
With the Norman conquest and a crowned king came the dawning of a new era for England. Nobles ordered the construction of mighty castles to fortify the realm. To rule this land is a birthright, but to control it requires the courage and skill few possess. It is a kingdom beset by enemies. The Scots press at its borders, the Vikings to the north, and the French separated by a mere channel of water. All of the country exists in a state of war, as even the common are called upon for duty. times of total war, it rests on the shoulders of those who lead to ensure the kingdom does not fall into ruin.
Alright, so here we are. So, you know, like you saw in the main map, you know, we've got a little piece of, like, northern France, of what is modern-day France. And then, we just have 2 cities here in, mainland England. Now, you'll see I've got one here and one here, and they both look different. This bottom one is like an actual city. Trying to think of how to explain this. So, cities are more of your money makers, I guess that's how you would put it. That's where all of your trade is. That's where all of your tax rate is. You know, you can put very high tax rate here. You see I can get, you know, big ports, mines, farms, markets, stuff like that. Now, these, you'll see, you know, this one says, well, that one says English capital. Let me see. But you can see, like, this one over here, this one's similar to London. That just says town, right? Let me see. So that one's a large town. So that's probably what London is a large town. It's my capital right now, so it just says English capital. But I just want to make the distinction between a town and then these, which is a castle. Now, castles are your military fortified buildings. So, you know, you can still get ports and farms and, you know, agricultural stuff here too. But if you look right here, my tax rate is locked on normal. So you never want to really rely on castles for income. Now, obviously, they can still generate income, like you see right there. You know, I'm making 711 right there, you know, at the start of the game. But if you compare that to London, which is a town, and it's making 1324, and, you know, that's without even putting all of the major buildings in the building chain in that town, which they have, you know, more money buildings than like a castle would have. And the same thing is kind of in reverse. As far as military units go, your castles are where you're going to build your, you know, your stables for cavalry, your, you know, your infantry buildings. Like in this case, it's a garrison quarters, and I can get spearmen. The bowyer, this is where you're going to get your archers, and I can't get those units in a regular town. I can get like spear militia, pretty much all militia units in a town, which, you know, you don't really want to rely too much on in an open battle. You really don't want to be fielding those because they have very bad morale and just bad stats in general. But I'm going to go ahead and get started here, so let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and just take a look at my building queue first. Now, this castle has a bunch of like militia and peasant units in it, and I can't actually recruit these units from a castle. These are units that would typically come from a town. So what I'm going to actually do, let me look at my building browser here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take these militia and peasant units. I'm going to go ahead and move it over to this army. I'm going to go ahead and start heading towards this town. I'm going to go ahead and try to take that. And I'm going to replace those units with a levy spearman. Now, let me see. Levy spearmen aren't that great either, but they do have a bonus against cavalry, and you can see here combat bonus in woods or snow as well. So, you know, they do have some decent stats, but if you look over here in London, you know, they've got like these town militia. Now, they have the same stats as far as like the 7-5, and they have the combat bonus in woods or snow, but you'll notice they do not have a bonus against cavalry, so these units typically will just get eaten alive if you get hit by a cav unit. And I'm trying to go a little bit fast here, but not too fast. But if you notice here in the units column, these three are darker than this one. These towns, not to be confused with the castles, these towns, you get free upkeep units depending on how large your settlement level is. And to determine how large your settlement level is dependent on the wall that you have. So right now we've got a wooden wall. And if we upgrade that, which we'll probably upgrade that soon, but when you upgrade that, it'll go from 3 free units to 4 free units. Now, so if you look at the upkeep cost here, that 125, it charges you 125 out of your money pool down here on the bottom right every turn to basically pay these units. So having free upkeep basically just makes it cheaper to defend your towns. This peasant unit, these things are pretty much trash. I don't even think they're worth the 90 upkeep in general, so I'm going to get rid of that. I've got another spear militia unit. Now these spear militia are similar to the levy spearmen. They do still have the bonus against cavalry. To like mid to late game. Also, you know, London's population is a little low, so right now I'm actually going to be focusing pretty heavily on growth there. I could come right out the gate and make like mines, because you can see the income from mining 240 a turn, which is obviously great. You know, it's awesome to have, you know, money early game, but I really want to focus on getting London just leveled up in general.
Fleet ready, sire.
I don't do fleet battles in these earlier Total War games. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this cog, that fleet there. I'm just going to leave the one, because I can use this one ship basically to move armies and units between, you know, the English Channel. So from the mainland to here, I can kind of reinforce myself. So that's pretty much going to be my strategy the entire game, is just to leave one unit. At some point I might get two. Depending on, you know, how many reinforcements I really truly need. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and try to go for growth here as well, because right now, as you can see, my recruitment options aren't very good. I can just get mailed knights and levy spearmen, and even if I get the drill square, my unit doesn't really improve. Like, the units I can recruit don't really improve that much, so we will build those very shortly even, but right now I just need to get these populations up so we can just go crazy with growth. Let me look at this town. So here we can't really recruit much either, which that's all going to change very quickly, guys. Believe me. I know I'm being kind of crazy with the growth, but you'll see it's going to pay off in the end. So,
my lord.
Let's see. So this town is kind of the same story. It's got, you know, just a bunch of peasant and spear militia units. So I'm actually going to send pretty much all of this up north here. Let's see. So they've got 5 units. I can't see what these two are, but I know that's a peasant archer, spear, peasants. I'm gonna probably guess that one of those is another archer and another spear. So I don't think I'm gonna besiege it just yet.
By your command.
But we're definitely gonna prepare to siege it, so I'm just gonna send some extra units into that army.
With discretion, sir.
Orders. My lord. We can go now.
Later in the game, I try to be more organized than that, but right now I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna go ahead, because I don't have any garrison in that town. You never want to leave a city empty, because then an enemy can just, you know, move in and take it without even a fight. So I'm just building a mailed knight basically just as a placeholder for now until I can get more units there.
My lord.
Now, you saw me move my spy. This guy's a spy. Now he's got an extended line of sight, and he can also, like, if I were to spy on this army, all these question marks, I would actually be able to see everything inside that army, and I'll be able to see most of it just by getting closer to it. So if I get my spy right on top of him, I might be able to see a little bit. But to actually see the whole thing, I would actually have to do a spy action. But I'm just doing that by double-clicking on the settlement. I can kind of see a little bit, you know, of what they have with my spy nearby, but it's just giving me like a general idea. Alright, so got a spear unit being made there. Growth building going, growth building. So that's pretty much all I can do here. I'm going to send my princess up there. She can be used as a diplomat, and you can also either marry her to an enemy, you know, for, you know,
Yes,
a bonus,
Your Highness.
or they can marry their princesses to, like, one of your princes, just as a form of diplomacy. And I'm probably not going to do much of this stuff, but this game focuses very heavily on religion. You can see I have a cardinal here. Now these guys start out as just regular priests, and you can recruit priests if you have churches, cathedrals, or huge cathedrals. And the higher their piety goes is where you figure out, you know, if they're either a priest or a cardinal. It takes a long time to get them to a cardinal, so I usually don't even bother with this part of the game. But if you see here, the Pope, this is actually a huge part of Medieval 2 Total War. So, you know, if you don't have a cardinal yourself, you can't really participate in voting for a new pope when that one dies. And you'll see later in the game that that actually does have some meaning to it. And it can actually change the entire game. But you know, as England, I don't really worry about that much, because I mean, you're pretty much safe up here. I mean, you're kind of like a turtle nation, you know, up here on your island. But you know, if you look if I have him selected, you can see, you know, the religion level in each of these settlements. So 90% Catholic there, 90% Catholic here. London is a little on the lower side. It's at 85, so I'm actually just going to move him into the region of London, which is this whole bottom section here. Now, one other thing I want to do...
Yes.
I'm actually going to move my general out of London real quick. This is just my OCD, but I don't like having this much area gray like that. So if you see what I just did there, I built a watchtower, and all I had to do there was click on my general, move him where I want the watchtower, and I clicked this building icon, and then I hit watchtower. So I'm just going to build one there and probably one on the very edge here. You can sometimes see fleets, you know, coming in here, you know, if somebody's trying to invade you. So I'll get him right out on the tip there, just so I can see a little bit of Southern Ireland and, you know, parts of this area here as well. So I think that's going to do it for this turn. Suitable prince, yes. We definitely like getting new generals for sure. Take rebel settlement. So we just got a mission. It wants me to take York, and my reward will be 2,500 florins if I take it, so that'll be good. Marriage celebrations. Okay, so I got a new prince because he married my princess. So if you see, my princess is gone now because she's officially married to someone else. I completely forgot about my own diplomat. I didn't move him next turn, or my merchant for that matter. But we'll go ahead and do that now. So we definitely want trade. Trade is pretty much guaranteed income, and I try to also sell them my map information because you can get some extra money for that. So you know, instead of just flat out doing a trade agreement, I try to demand maybe like 1,000 florins. So you can see it's a balanced agreement, so I might be able to get a little bit of extra money.
This will please you, then,
yeah, so just accepted. So they just gave us 1,000 florins basically just for trade rights. But
without question,
I'm gonna move them south here.
Tomorrow's journey planned out.
Got, you know, Spain and Portugal in this area, and then you know, we'll probably head towards Italy and try to get a bunch of factions over there. So let's see here. Now in Medieval 2, it's a little bit different than from some of the other Total War games, because in other Total War games, you can basically just recruit any unit to your heart's content, whereas in this one, your recruitment pool actually takes a turn or two to get new units in it. So if you look here, I recruited one of these Levy Spearmen last turn, and it actually said turns to next available unit 2, and now this turn it says turns to next available unit 1. So I have to wait until next turn before I can even recruit another one of those. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and besiege
as you wish.
This town.
To war then, sire.
Go ahead and build a
laying siege,
couple
sire.
rams.
The siege goes as planned, sire. My king.
Get my
marching,
general over
sire.
there.
We go now.
At your service.
Now this merchant here, I don't really do much of the merchant thing either.
Awaits, sire.
They had just come out with that mechanic in Medieval 2. If you guys watch Legend of Total War, I'm actually kind of the same mind as him on the whole merchant thing. It really is kind of useless, but because you know they're 550 florins to recruit, and look at the trade resource that he brings in, 5 florins per turn. So it really isn't worth much, and they always get bribed by like other nations too. So it can be a real pain in the ass sometimes.
Sire.
Alright, so this is York. This is where we got that mission, so I'm going to go ahead and besiege it. I don't know. Yeah, that army won't make it there in time, but I'll send him anyway.
Yes, sire.
How are we looking here? Okay, so everything looks good, so I'm just going to go ahead and work on taking this town now. Quick disclaimer, before each battle, I do save the game. And I don't do that because, oh, you know, if I lose the battle, I'll just, you know, load the save and refight it. No, if I get my ass kicked, you know, I deserve the loss. But I will say that in this particular game,
to war then, sire.
There are still bugs present, you know, after all these years. So I just tend to save in case it crashes during the battle, or sometimes units get stuck. Like, you know, they'll be either trying to go up a ladder, down a ladder, and they just get stuck, and, you know, you can't get out of the battle, or, you know, there's just some little quirks like that, and that's why I do that. Now, I could probably win this in an auto resolve, but I'll probably, you know, being on hard difficulty, I'll probably take way too many losses, so, we'll just go ahead and fight it.
I shall lead our forces into battle, my lord.
Alright, we'll go ahead and start. So let's take a look at the city. So we've got 4 different points of entry here. Just kind of organize my army a little bit. I kind of went a little bit fast there, so this is my, you know, infantry, obviously, my spear militia. I usually put guard mode off. Basically what guard mode is if they get engaged with an enemy, if you have them on guard mode, they won't chase. Whereas if you take guard mode off and they get in a fight and the enemy tries to basically disengage from that unit, your unit will follow it to, you know, try to continue engaging it. I turn that off because usually if an enemy tries to disengage from you, you'll actually start doing more damage to it because you're basically stabbing them in the back as they're trying to get away from you. Now over here with the archers, I put their guard mode on because I do not want them in melee combat at all to begin with, because their arrows do a lot more damage. So if in the event they do get engaged by a melee unit, I would rather them stop chasing and fire their bows before, before anything else happens. So also I turned skirmish mode off. I think skirmish mode's kind of broken in this game. This is a lot slower pace of a Total War game, and you'll see that here. So I just don't think that they actually move in time for skirmish mode to be useful. So I tend to either manage them myself, try to move them and get them away from the enemy, or I'll just utilize my infantry properly and not have to worry about it in the first place. So, if I'm doing my job correctly, they shouldn't get engaged at all. Now I'm looking for a good spot to put my archers. You know, when you're looking for a good archer position, you want to make sure that they're shooting straight, because if I put them in the street here, you know, obviously they'll be in range of the enemy, which will probably be in the town center, but they have to shoot up and over all these buildings, so I'm trying to look for a position close by where they'll be in range, but won't have to shoot up and over, which this looks about like the only real decent position. And these peasant archers don't have very much range either, so you know, I have to get pretty dang close to the enemy for it to actually work. So I'm going to put all my archers on that side with one spear unit. I'm going to put my archers probably right in here somewhere, and I'll use a spear unit just as a blocking position so that the enemy can't countercharge me. I'm going to take this spear unit, put him on this side of the city. We're going to pretty much hit them from all sides. You know, I'm not going to take any chances just because I outnumber them, because I don't like taking unnecessary losses either, you know. Alright, so let's see. I just started the battle. So yeah, they're all in the town center. I pretty much expected that. It's a very small town and the enemy doesn't tend to wander off, so I'm going to go ahead and get these guys moving. I don't want to get too close because I don't want his archers to hit me while I'm just moving everything into position. And right up here you can, you know, just like all the other Total War games, you can mess with the speed here. Okay, so I see his archers moving. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and back off here, because it looks like his archers are going to want to try to shoot me. I don't usually see the enemy that aggressive. See if they're going to back off, maybe. I think they're in range of anything. These guys are almost in position. It's going to be hard to get these archers in a decent position. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and have them run now. I'm going to have them run now because we've obviously got their attention. Oop, they are firing. Okay. Well, I guess our archers are almost in position now, so... Go ahead and get this whole party started. Not quite sure what they're shooting at. My archers are now firing. Alright, so yeah, my archers are hitting his. Now, if you look at his are kind of shooting up and over. Now, he'll probably get a few kills like that. But as you can see, I just took out, you know, that was one volley, and I just took out a lot more of his guys. So, as you can see, getting a nice straight shot on the enemy is a lot better than shooting up and over. So I've got his attention pulled pretty much entirely on two areas, and I'm coming in from two angles in the back here, so that's going to be good because I'll be able to charge them from behind. Now I'm going to go ahead and charge him straight there because I want his momentum to keep going in a straight line rather than him stop here and just kind of engage them. I want them to try to get a charge bonus if possible. Yeah, so there they are. They got a charge bonus on them, so that'll be good. These guys not so much. I think they got caught up on my other unit, so they didn't get a proper charge off. Alright, so now with that being said, I'm going to try to get my general over there. I don't want to get him too involved. I don't want to risk losing a general right now. Because even though general units are very powerful in this game, sometimes I've literally seen the general himself be the first guy to die in the whole dang unit. So I don't want to risk that if I don't actually have to. So we've already killed about 30% of them. Oh, and the general died.
lies dead. We've sent the base cur
But you can see I'm taking quite a bit of losses there. So my units are, you know, shaken there. That's their morale. And shaken is like the second worst. When it says wavering, like you can see the enemy is wavering, that's pretty much right before they're about to break. But I don't even like to see shaken, really, because, you know, that's pretty much when I sound my own alarm and, you know, I'm just like, hey, this unit ain't gonna last much longer here. Now, because the enemy is fighting in their own city, they don't have anywhere to run, so as long as they're in the flagged area, they won't actually break and run. Go ahead and finish off that peasant unit over there with my general, though, just so I can pull all of these resources over here. Try to finish
Only half the enemy force remains.
Whole battle. If he can even get in there, it doesn't look like he wants to. Yeah, in Medieval 2, like I was saying, like it is very slow paced compared to other Total War titles. Units really feel like they have a lot of weight to it. Even more so, I think, than, you know, the newer titles like, you know, like the Warhammer series. Now, I love the Warhammer series, but, you know, units in that game, they do have weight to them, obviously, but if you're trying to actually move a unit through another unit, you know, they're a little more courteous in that game, and they actually move their asses, so, you know, your units can actually move within another, whereas right here, you know, all of my units are just kind of getting bogged down on each other. There's just one guy left. Okay, there we go. So now that unit's wiped out, I'm going to go ahead and shift my entire focus on what we've got here. Now, I really shouldn't be engaging a spear unit with my general, because, like I said earlier, spears have a bonus against cav. I might pull him out because my general's looking like he wants to get in there himself, and I don't want that to happen, so we'll just pull him off to the side a bit. Yeah, more of my spearmen are moving into the fight now. Yeah, my general can stay out of the fight himself. You really got to pay attention to where he is in the unit, which I have no idea where he is now, actually. Usually he's on the left somewhere. But he is the only one I really don't want fighting. I don't know where he is. Oh, there he is. Okay, way in the back. That's okay then.
My lord, our men are in command of the city.
So you can see his spearmen are getting quite a bit of kills on my cavalry now. But General's bodyguard unit is just in general very, very strong, and, you know, most of the time they could even overpower a militia spear unit like that. especially if they get a good charge off, because charges in this game are godly. I mean, you can wipe a whole spear unit out with one charge in this game. Not just a spear unit, you can damn near wipe out any unit with a decent charge in this game. Hopefully we can finish this soon. I'm gonna go ahead and triple speed it or quintuple speed it just to get this over with.
Behold how all of Christendom will be awed by the victory we have won here today.
So I definitely lost a lot more spearmen than I thought I was going to. I think those archers were able to shoot me at point blank range at some point there, because we were really only up against peasants for most of that.
Such is the fate of all who oppose us. The settlement has fallen.
All right.
Take the spoils of war.
So we got the mission success letter there. Now here, you know, for the occupation options, you know, we've got occupy, sack, and exterminate. Now this this town here has a very low population, so exterminating would be kind of counterproductive because it already has a low population and we need growth. Sacking a settlement, you know, it kills less people but gives you more money. But again, it's just a very small settlement, so you're not getting much out of it. So really, occupying would be the only good option here. So if you see here, I don't have very many building options because the town is just so small. I could get the land clearance, which would give us a population growth bonus. But really, we're just going to go ahead and upgrade the settlement in general just to make it bigger and easier to defend. I will go ahead and jack the tax rate up on it as well because we do need money as quick as possible.
Of course, sire.
So trait increase. So this was the general that did the battle. He got 1 chivalry. So if we look at him here, I guess he had dread before, so now he's got no dread but no chivalry, so he's just kind of leveled out there. So mission success, you have been rewarded with 2,500 florins, so we definitely needed that. Any extra money is always useful. And all of our buildings are still going in all these towns, so it's just going to be time to end our turn.
Greetings. We have a word for you.
Alright, so Scotland wants some diplomacy here. They're offering me trade rights and map information. I'm going to go ahead and do a counter offer because I do want trade rights, but I don't want their map information. I mean, my spy is literally looking at their only town, so they don't really have anything that I would want as far as map information, but I will try to sell them my map information, which is worth something, and see if I can't get 1,000 florins for it.
Agreed. But only just, mind you.
Aye, farewell.
Most of the time you'll usually get them to do that trade, but sometimes they won't. Alright, so we're actually being counterattacked here at this city. Now I do outnumber them, but they have better troop quality for sure. They've got a mailed knight unit, so they've got a heavy cav unit. These crossbowmen are actually pretty decent. You can see their stats are 8-6, which is even higher than my own infantry. And then they've also got the spear militia, which are the exact same as my spear militia. So I've got numbers on my side here. So let's see what we can do. The balance bar is not in my favor, but I think I can win it.
Yes, sire. We bring the battle to the enemy.
Now, when they sally like this, you don't get a deployment option at the beginning, so I have to, yeah, go ahead and hit that pause button as soon as we get in here. So, let's see. All of his infantry are right there in the front, ready to come out, and his generals in the back. So, we are going to drop our siege equipment. That's not going to do us any good. We'll put them on guard mode. I'm just going to tap off of pause until they drop the siege equipment, and then tap pause right back on. So now we can start moving. I'm going to go ahead and actually get as close as I can to the city gate. I'm going to actually just kind of force my way, because they're the ones attacking. They're the ones sallying, so they have to come out to me. And I don't want to give them the opportunity to actually spread out, because if they're able to spread out, that cavalry unit will become more of a problem. So I basically want to bog them down and just, you know, try to get my archers to do some work here. So they're already moving very, very fast, so I'm going to stop my archers right now. Alright, so there's his cav unit. His cav unit is out now. I'm going to go ahead and slam it. Let's do this. Pull that unit back a little bit. I've got to keep my general unit close, because he's what's keeping my morale up right now, which is not very high. My archers aren't doing anything. I got to get them firing on that cav unit.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy. Attack!
I'm going to hit these crossbowmen point blank here. Now I saw this spear unit here. They were actually wavering very early on. That was very close. So you know, these guys do not have very good morale. Okay, I broke his crossbowman unit. So now that all this is freed up, so I'm just gonna keep bogging down his blob here, keep surrounding it, and as I'm surrounding him, we keep getting a chain route going here. So that's what we want to see. I want to break their morale.
The enemy army flees the field. Pursue and run them down.
Let me think here. Because obviously I can go ahead and end this fight now if I wanted to. But I'll have to siege the town out another turn. Or I can continue the fight. But the only thing that is making me not want to continue the fight is how bad my men's morale is right now. You know what? We're just gonna go for it. Okay. Chase as much down as possible. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this. I really wish... Okay, we got his general. I really wish I had killed a little bit more, because now we're gonna have to fight all this in the town center, and these guys don't break, so... It is going to be a little tricky here. My only concern is, you know, how close my units were already to breaking. So hopefully my morale can hold up here. I'm just going to stop chasing now. Let's get my units formed up a bit. Let's get my archers right here in the center firing. Let's go ahead and get some of my spear units moving around to the right. I've got to move quick here, because I don't want to get trapped in this doorway. Let's go ahead and put a spear unit there. Come on, guys, move. See, my guys are just struggling to get through that gateway right now. I'll go ahead and get my general in there. We'll need the morale bonus. Now, he's just a captain. I don't have a real general. He's literally just a peasant unit. So... very risky with him, because he could get taken out by, you know, just a straight bolt. Alright. I am going to go ahead and get my archers firing at that blob there. See if we can't loosen the enemy up a little bit before we do our full-blown attack. Let's go ahead and get these guys around the side here. I actually killed a lot more than I thought I did right there at the gate. Right here, this blob. You know, when we originally broke them, I didn't think we were going to kill that many, but I think I've definitely got this battle in the bag now. He doesn't have really a whole lot to defend with at this point. I've just got to thin him out a little bit more, and hopefully my units won't break. If I had a real general, rather than just a captain in a peasant unit, my units wouldn't be breaking so easy. But my archers are actually doing a pretty good deal of damage to his crossbowmen here. I might just utilize all of my ammo before I even do the main assault. I think we're pretty much okay to attack now. And I definitely need to keep my general nearby or my units won't last very long. Alright, so we already broke that unit.
Infantry! Double time! Units! Stand fast!
Let's see if I can't get my archers in here. Sometimes just having numbers nearby can give your guys more morale. So they're shaken. So I gotta be careful there. Oh man, they were wavering there for a second.
Infantry!
Yeah, I think I need to get my general closer to that unit, because if he breaks, this could be very bad. Because when one unit breaks, you can get a chain reaction and everything will break. That's why I was so nervous about continuing this fight, but it looks like we're doing okay.
Archers!
Alright, so we defeated that unit, so we just pretty much gotta dogpile this unit and just get him off the field. Wipe him out. So we'll get down into it. Yeah, with them being surrounded on all sides, they're gonna be taking a lot more casualties very quickly. So you can see, I mean, they're dropping pretty much on all sides. Man, even these peasants with their pitchforks are getting some kills. That's it.
The enemy are utterly vanquished. This is a great victory worthy of only the mightiest of generals.
Oh wow, we got a heroic victory for that. Nice.
The day is ours, sire. This is English soil now.
We'll just occupy that one as well. New mission, build a small chapel. Okay. Yeah, Scotland is pretty scary because they
I'm not a threat to you.
they start
Best
out with
keep it that way.
a lot of units, just numbers wise. They start out with a lot, and you don't really have that
Sire.
much. So
By your command.
hopefully we'll get this wall next turn before they decide to declare war on me. If they ever do, you know, they may not even. Alright, so now that Nottingham has a growth building, you know, we've at least got some growth there. I'm going to go ahead and get a garrison quarter so we can start getting some spearmen, some form of infantry in there. For London, let's see. We'll go ahead and get the mines, you know, it's guaranteed income. You know, I've got all those growth buildings built now, so we can start focusing on that. Now here, you know, historically speaking, you know, France and England are just, you know, especially during the medieval period, they're always at war with each other. And the same thing goes, you know, with Medieval 2. I already know they're going to attack me at some point. So, while I would love to focus on nothing but growth here, I definitely need some military units. So, we're going to go ahead and get a bowyer so we can get some archers going there. Now, this is the city that we just took
Orders.
after that battle.
Orders.
So let me see what we've got going on here. My OCD is yelling at me right now.
Yes.
I like to
As
try to
you
keep
wish.
my units a little bit organized. And I think here a wooden wall, or a larger wooden wall, will be beneficial, because the one that we had before was just like a little palisade, whereas this wooden wall your units can actually stand on. Like, there's actually a platform to have units standing there, and we can put our archers on it. So, you know, this southern portion of my empire, I guess you can say, is kind of high risk right now with France. So I'm definitely focusing a little bit more
Yes, my lord.
militarily there.
Yes, sire.
And I'm just going to keep
Tomorrow's
my
journey planned out,
diplomat
sire.
heading south. 'cause I
Tomorrow's
wanna keep
journey
getting,
planned out, sire.
I want to keep getting trade rights. And then
My
we'll go
king.
ahead and finish up
Yes.
my little watchtower mission here.
Nothing shall escape your notice in these lands, my lord.
So that'll just open up a little bit of a window here, because sometimes armies like to come through here and either land in Ireland, or they'll land on this portion here, and you can't see them coming
As you
without those
command.
watchtowers. So
We'll stop here.
God's servant.
everybody's looking good.
At your service.
I don't know how much
On
these
my way.
trade for, but
Opening
I guess
a
we'll
new
try. Okay,
trade
9,
lane,
yeah, it's a
my
little bit more.
At your service.
It's not really much, but while I have him, I may as well use him. Enter.
An order.
Those messages I just,
Yes.
you know, usually just
We
flip
go
through.
no
I don't
further
ever
today.
really read them. Now we looking here. One more turn and we can get spearmen. Yeah, we definitely need growth here, because they're not going anywhere. Only 1.5% growth here, so... It just concerns me that I can't really recruit anything.
My lord. Sire.
maybe when Nottingham is able to recruit some units, we can fix that. And here they go, buying out my merchant. Didn't even get a single turn.
Your orders, sire.
Him going.
Without question, sire.
So yeah, merchant
Tomorrow's
assets,
journey
so
planned out,
He
sire.
pretty much just got bought out. He's gone. Right. I need to be able to at least recruit something here, even if it is just these militia units, because in case France besieges that, I need to be able to replace anything that I end up losing. Now this is where recruitment is about to get interesting, because I just built a bowyer which just gives me these peasant archers, which honestly are almost worthless because their missile attack is 5 and they don't get hardly any bonuses. But now that I've got a bowyer, I can finally get this practice range going, which is going to give us our longbowmen. And to be able to get longbowmen this early in game is really what makes England a superpower in this game, because for one, you know, total defense 4, you know, that's pretty low, but that's completely unupgraded. But look at their melee attack. It's 7. That's pretty dang high. That's higher than my, you know, my normal spearmen. And then missile attack is 6, which, you know, you might be thinking is only 1 more than the peasant bowman, but if you look here at the abilities, this is really what makes them so OP in my opinion. It says effective against armor and long-range missiles, so they have a super long range in this game. And then the effective against armor, I could be wrong here. I know for a fact that the missiles are armor piercing. So this is 6 missile attack, but it completely ignores armor. And their melee attack at 7, I think, I don't know this for sure, but I am pretty sure that the melee attack is also effective against armor. Because these guys do not use a regular sword in battle. They actually use hammers. It's like the brass hammers that, you know, historically the English longbowmen would use to tap their stakes into the ground to
Marching,
protect
sire.
themselves from cavalry.
I've tried whipping them, sire. The men are
And
spent.
you know, getting hit with a hammer, even if you're if you are wearing armor, you know, it's going to give you a concussion. So I feel like even their melee attack is definitely going to be effective against armor. Now, I'm looking at London here real quick, so I don't need any recruitment items or anything like that. London is pretty much safe. You know, I've got a nice defensive bubble, you know, 2 towns to the north, 2 towns to the south, so now is probably where I'm going to start focusing on money and trade. So I'm going to go ahead and get this port built, and I'll probably start focusing on like markets and farming, you know, stuff like that, just to boost our income. Now here we can finally get some spearmen, and I will probably now these upgraded infantry barracks, you know, they give you billmen, which, you know, they have a massive, you know, 15 attack and even a pretty high charge bonus of 5. And they're also effective against armor, which is pretty good, but the problem with them, unfortunately, is their total defense, which is only 3. So, you know, they might look good at a glance, but honestly, these guys can't even beat, you know, peasant spearmen, you know, like just regular militia spearmen, because with militia spearmen having an attack of, you know, between 5 and 7, well, obviously that's already higher than 3, so while their attack is pretty dang high, I mean, they don't have enough survivability for it to really matter, so I typically don't ever even run the regular billmen until I get like heavy billmen. So, you know, we've got the ability to recruit some spearmen, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get some archers now. That way we can start dishing out some armies in mainland England and try to pretty much unify this whole northwest region. I'm just taking a look here. Yeah. So yeah, that's the plan.
Sire, I cannot do that, sire. Tomorrow's journey planned out, sire.
My king. Hail, my king.
Trying to think what will be the best building for this town. Honestly, I'm thinking roads because it's just so far out of the way right now. I think that would actually be a little beneficial for now. And it's a one-turn building. It only takes one turn for that to build, so I'll just get it out of the way for now. And I might do the same, you know, for Nottingham here in a second.
Ships ready.
I apologize if my voice is a little bit froggy. I know I'm like coughing a little bit. I've just been under the weather the last few days, and honestly I think it's just a little bit from exhaustion because like I said in the beginning of the video, I've been doing a lot of schoolwork lately. Been studying like 12 hours a day. It's been pretty crazy. Sometimes I'll click on the faction announcements because I like to keep track of like family members and see if you'll get one message that says like coming of age, which means one of the
Yes,
children in your
Without
faction
question, sire.
turned, I think it's 16 in this game, which means they become a usable general, and you can never have enough generals.
Is there
Well,
something
sometimes
I
you
can
can,
do
if
for
you
you, noble lord?
don't expand very much, but I try to have a general in every town if I can help it.
No, I don't see how this.
So
can
they
work.
actually rejected my offer here, but we'll go ahead and take this. You know, 690 florins is still pretty good, so.
Glad to. Until next time.
And we'll
Yes,
move on to
sire.
Spain, and so hopefully we'll get some trade with Spain here soon. So I got a recruitment building in this town, so I can at least get town militia, but I'm going to go ahead and try to get the town guard, so I can start getting the actual spear militia in that town. And then Khan is one turn away from getting me longbowmen. And once I get those longbowmen, it is GG for the rest of the game, because those things are so strong. Here in London, I'll go ahead and get the market going. Need to get some of that income. Get some more levy spearmen in there. Get the practice range going. Get more longbowmen. York, we definitely need more population, so I'll build more farms, get that food production going. Scotland
My
doesn't
respects
look like
to
it's
you,
even
Your
doing anything, and if anything, it even looks as if they're getting weaker. I don't know if they're, like, attacking that town. Well, yeah, they must be attacking it. It's got damage to it, but they must be losing.
Where to, sire?
They gotta be losing or something. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, mission failed. Oh, I forgot about that one. It's whatever. So yeah, when you fail Pope missions, your standing goes down. So not really that big of a deal. I mean, it kind of is, because if your papal standing gets down too low, the Pope will excommunicate you, which basically makes all of the Catholic factions in this game, which are the majority of them, basically declare war on you, which is something you definitely don't want to happen. But as England, like I said, it's not that big of a deal because, you know, you're kind of safe up here in this northwestern corner. So let's see. So we got spearmen now. We got longbowmen now. So now I can just kind of focus on growth right now. Get this town built up so I can get some of the mid-game units going. Get more spearmen. I'm basically just keeping this mailed knight here because I am going to be building an army here soon. And I'll be using that mailed knight here in the future.
Begone! You are not my liege.
Got an enemy rebel army
Your
here.
will, sire.
I
To
try
battle
to
it is then, sire.
be proactive.
Glorious
in
victory is
getting rid of
ours,
these
sire.
things,
My lord.
just because they can cause corruption.
Glorious victory
Like
is
I guess
ours,
they
sire.
like pillage your
Yes.
region and stuff. So
Orders.
the rest of my army can't make it back to York,
We'll
but my
make
general
camp
can.
here,
So
sire.
we'll just get them in there next turn. But yeah, when they sit in a region too long, they start to cause like a gray, like burnt ground area around them, and it reduces your income. I think it lowers your public order too, if I recall correctly.
Aye, sire.
I go ahead and put my
Set
ship
sail.
up there. We've got several rebel fleets around here. Oh, I forgot to go to Spain. Do it this turn. Yep, Spain. So we actually have
Your
a mission
Majesty.
to talk to Spain
You
now.
have a message for my people?
And we'll get an extra 500 for doing this.
I am afraid I must
So they
deny you
rejected
today.
it as well, but gave me a counter offer. We'll go ahead and take it.
Mutually beneficial. Farewell,
Any,
noble
you know,
lord.
it's pretty much free money, so
Without question, sire.
success. We got an extra 500 florins. Great. Some more longbowmen.
Sire. Yes. My lord.
Guess
Sire.
I could have organized these guys a
As
little
you
bit
wish.
better. There we go.
Yes, sire.
Carnarvon. So that's gonna be over here. So yeah, your relationship with France and Scotland has worsened, and now it's both war. I don't even know what I did to deserve that, but I think it's just scripted in the game at this point.
Your orders, sire. Yes, sire.
I'm gonna get one more longbow unit in con. I think at this point we're getting pretty close to war with France. Now in this town I finally got the town guard, so I can at this point recruit and retrain these spear militia units. And what it means by retrain is if I've got units that are low, like this one where it's missing several soldiers in it, I can retrain it to get them back up to full power. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and go for a growth building as well. I really want to get them, you know, up to like a stone wall, just for added protection. Here in London, still want to focus on money, and communal farming can also be good for money, not just population growth.
Ships
So I'm gonna
ready.
go that route. I'm
An
going to
order.
take King William up here to Nottingham. We're going to start
My lord.
building
Yes.
an army.
Joining forces.
Now you've
my
got to
lord.
be careful of your general's age, because at some point, you know, they will just kind of drop dead on you. You know, they get old just like anyone else. So King William at 54 doesn't really have a whole lot of time left, but I think it's going to be just enough time to take Carnarvon. So we're going to try to go for that. And as far as units go, I can recruit these mailed knights, I can get levy spearmen and longbowmen, which I think is all I'll need for that battle, so... Go ahead and get the dirt roads. It's just going to make traveling throughout my land a lot quicker and easier. Your armies can move a lot further when you've got roads. Go ahead and get the grain exchange.
Command me, sire.
So you can see the roads popped up there pretty much instantly, so that's just going to allow me to move around the map a lot quicker and further.
Sire. My lord. Yes, sire. Combining forces, sire.
Just keep, heavy recruitment going in this town. Churning out more and more soldiers there. Kinda hard to prioritize what I really want here. I mean, there's not really anything that I particularly need, but, money is always kind of a priority, so maybe just a port so I can get more trade. But as far as military units, I don't really need much, because we're still very early game right now.
My king.
They're okay as well. Just get dirt roads there.
Sire. Without question,
And really,
sire.
I need to start getting trade
Tomorrow's
rights
journey planned out, sire.
with more people. Somebody got besieged. I heard that clanking metal.
Your orders,
I
sire.
didn't see where it was at,
Yes,
though.
sire. Tomorrow's journey planned out, sire.
We'll go ahead and get that chapel now. Make the Pope a little happy. Get a chapel there as well, or a small church.
Yes.
Orders, my lord.
My king. Yes. An order. My king.
Alright, so we're going to try to get a move on here, because I don't know how much longer
Orders, my lord.
King William's
Sire,
got,
by
so
your command.
I'm just going to go ahead and
Merging
throw
armies,
everything
my
I've
lord.
got here into his
Yes,
army.
sire.
I mean, that's a pretty decent
Combining
sized
forces,
army.
sire.
Not the best
Marching,
units,
sire.
obviously, but it's just
We shall
numbers wise I've
slaughter
got
them,
it,
my
so.
lord.
And I went ahead and sent what was garrisoning this town too, just to get them out into the field quicker. And as these units become available, I'll just replace them, because Nottingham isn't really in a direct threat right now. Go ahead and get a town watch. Now London is starting to get a little closer to getting to the next settlement level. We'll go ahead and do another farm building just to give it that extra nudge and get it there. Caen is pretty far away from it, however. I'll go ahead and do another farm there. See how we're looking here. They're pretty far away as well. Let's go ahead and get the church in there first, and then we'll just go ahead and put the farm right behind it.
Command me, sire.
Yes, my lord. Without question, sire. Tomorrow's journey planned out, sire.
An order. They'll wish they'd never been born, sire.
Alright, so this town,
Besieging the cowards, my liege.
you know, it's a wooden castle, so it's got walls. I'll go ahead and get as much siege equipment as I can possibly
Patiently
get.
awaiting to breach and butcher, sire.
That's going to be kind of a pain to take too, because his Welsh longbowmen, as you can see here, you know, their attack and defense are very low, but as far as their missile attack, they do exactly what English longbowmen do. So they've got the long-range missiles and the effective against armor bonuses, so that's going to be kind of a pain, especially when they're up on a wall, you know, shooting down at you as you're trying to approach it. So we'll see what we do there.
Your Majesty.
Alright, let's try to...
Yes, sire.
Okay, we've got Milan right here.
What is it you would discuss with me?
Let's try to get some trade with them.
We accept this proposal.
Accepted.
Farewell, noble one.
And then we'll head
Without
over here.
question,
and,
sire.
yeah, you
Tomorrow's
see the red
journey
and the
planned
black
out,
there. So
sire.
we've got Venice to our right, and then just below them we've got the Holy Roman Empire. So we'll hit them up for trade rights. We are kind of hurting for money a little bit now with all the construction we've been doing, so trade rights is definitely going to be very important.
My king. Yes, sire.
Still got one more
Moving to
turn
crush the
before we get
enemy.
the extra
Patiently
siege
awaiting
tower.
to breach and butcher,
So
sire.
next turn we'll probably
They'll
attack
wish
that.
they'd never been born, sire.
Let's see.
Patiently awaiting to breach and
Nothing good.
butcher.
Swordsmen are more ideal for, you know, taking walls. In my opinion, anyway.
Yes, my lord.
Let's head
Yes,
over here to
sire.
Is there
Venice.
something I can do for
Trade
you?
rights,
noble
map
one?
information, and give me money.
This appears
got it.
until next.
Without question, sire.
Command me,
Let's go ahead
sire.
and take this city.
We shall slaughter them, my lord.
Alright, so let's take a look. So he's got 2 Welsh spearmen, 3 Welsh longbowmen, and a peasant unit. If I can get in melee combat with these longbowmen, it won't be that big of an issue, but I've just got to get
There'll
to
be no
the
escaping
walls
us now.
first, and they're gonna be
Attack!
obviously raining arrows down on me the entire time I'm trying to do that, so... And we'll skip the whole speech.
Units, await my orders.
Right, so... I don't want my archers on a ram. Honestly, I'm probably not even going to use the ram. So, let's get them off of skirmish mode, get all of them on guard mode. So I'm thinking here that... Let's see. My only concern, my biggest concern, is my spearmen have very bad morale. And if they start shooting flaming arrows at me, I am probably going to break. So, you know, my mailed knights here are definitely by far my strongest units. And especially if I can get them surrounded in the center there with cavalry, I will literally cut them down. So I think I'm going to focus on these siege towers at first, because they'll, you know, block the arrows from the archers, and we'll just have to see where they're set up at when I start the battle, and if I see an opportunity, I will send my ladders. But I've just got to keep my general close to whoever is engaged to keep their morale up. So let's see what the enemy's got going on. Okay, so they're already firing flaming arrows at my tower, so he could potentially destroy the tower. Welsh spearman. Okay, he's got some longbowmen over on the right. Longbowmen on the left. I'm not gonna probably hit that, honestly. I probably will send these ladders over here somewhere, though. Then just try to keep my general nearby. Actually, I'm gonna hold off, because these things move slower.
General's bodyguard, armed with great speed.
And I could have, you know, my archers shoot his archers, but with them being up on the wall like that, my fire is just not going to be very effective. If I can get them off the wall and get them into that town center right there, it'll be a lot more effective. Okay, now we can start getting the ladder over there.
General's bodyguard.
Let's get my general up close as well. Okay, so that one's gone. That tower's gone. Okay, so I think they're going to take both towers completely out, to be honest. So I'll go ahead and hit them with all of my ladders at this point. Go ahead and get my spear unit back up there. I think they're gonna catch that thing on fire, man. It's so close. As soon as it makes contact, they should stop
Our
targeting
siege towers
it.
have reached the walls.
Hopefully,
Now
no.
the butcher's
They'll
work
get one
begins.
more volley off on it, I guess. Alright, so we got spearmen going up there.
The ladders are now in place. Walls are no match for the valor and force of our arms.
I'm gonna put my cavalry over there basically just to try to get the enemy to stop focusing my spearmen. My general's getting hit really hard right now. I'm just trying to keep those spears alive as long as possible.
The ladders are now in place. Walls are no
Alright,
match for the
so we're gonna
valor and
start
force of
getting
our
some
arms.
melee combat now, so they should stop shooting as soon as my guys start making contact. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, they're starting to cut them down now. Now this side I am more worried about. No, don't move there. Let's just move my cav up. Hopefully that'll buff my spearmen's morale enough for them to not break, but they're already shaken. And they're actually taking quite a few casualties. Break. Do it. I mean, they're getting shredded over here. I don't know what's going on. What the hell? The enemy gets a bonus on these walls, I do know that, so. Alright, so we got them to break on this side. So let's go ahead and move them down the wall. See if we can get these spearmen to get up that tower, start helping. And I can't believe this unit hasn't broken yet. I know it's going to, though. Maybe.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Alright, so we're clearing the walls pretty good right now. I mean, we are obviously taking losses, but, like, I don't exactly have the best units for this. And I know my cav is getting kind of hammered right now, but as long as those towers are shooting my cav, they're not shooting my spearmen. So it's kind of a... I'm doing what I can here, basically. That's what I didn't want. I did not want his archers shooting flaming arrows at my spearmen, because that will hurt their morale, which we don't really have morale to lose here. Yeah, they're wavering now.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
I'm gonna try to sneak around back here and see if I can't take that gate and get my cav running through. And I moved my archers up too to just hit these guys here.
The Lord is with us today.
Here we go, here we go.
We've captured the enemy's walls.
Now all my cav is just gonna rush in there and pretty much finish this. This is... yeah, now the gloves are off. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and get all of my units in here now.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
You know, sieges are never really easy, but they're definitely a lot harder when you don't have the right unit for the right job, because, you know, these spearmen really aren't meant for this kind of fight. And that's Welsh spearmen in the center, so I'm actually going to pull my cav out. They've pretty much done all they can do. I just ran down a bunch of routers here, but I'll go ahead and put them just outside the walls again. I'll leave my general nearby at least, but I think my archers are actually going to be what finishes this. Jump over here. That Welsh spearman unit there is really the only thing that's going to hurt me very bad. Because the majority of my army at this point is cavalry, because my spearmen got up on those walls. So if I can thin the spearmen out a little bit, then I can just, you know, mop up the rest basically with my cav. This is what I mean by, like, you know, units can kind of get stuck sometimes when they're going up and down walls or up and down towers. They just kind of bug out a little bit. Oh my god, these point-blank shots, dude. That is devastating. Honestly, I can't believe they even survived that. Oh my goodness. How are they not broken? Oh, there they go. Oh, that's the general unit, that's why.
And break the spirit of his army.
General units get a morale bonus. Now let's get this cav in the back here. Start getting ready to end this fight. Yeah, he's only got 30 spears left, so that's not really much of a threat to all this cav. Get my general in there too. Get my archers to stop firing so I don't take friendly fire. get them in there. And we'll just go ahead and dogpile them. Let's do this.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours. Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead. We've sent the base cur to hell. By St. George, our men have taken control of the castle.
Yeah, you can see these spearmen are getting some last-minute cheeky kills in, just because they get that cav bonus. But against all this, they're not going to last very much longer here. There they go.
All of Christendom will be awed by the victory we have won here
So definitely
today.
far from my best battle. I mean, I definitely took a lot of losses out here in the field. But, you know, I didn't really have all of the units or the equipment that I would really prefer in a battle, but we'll get there. You know, we're getting close to mid-game now. You know, I'm focusing heavily on growth.
Victory! Victory! These
And, soon
people
we
now
will have a
kneel
lot
before
better
us, my
units.
lord.
Alright, so we just got 4 mailed knights. That'll replace a bunch of the ones that we just
Orders.
lost during that
Sire.
battle, because we did take
Orders.
quite a few losses here.
Sire,
Put that with them.
my lord. Orders.
Looks pretty good. Retrain the one we do have. And we can already actually upgrade this one right off the bat, so that's good. I'll go ahead and get the 4 mailed
Sire.
knights that we just got
Orders.
from that fight and start
As you
heading up
wish.
there.
March to exhaustion, sire. Continuing later.
And honestly, while I have all these mailed knights that
My
I didn't
lord.
necessarily pay for, I'm probably going to use those to take Dublin over here. See if I can't just overwhelm it with all this cavalry. Recruit a priest. I'll receive a reward of 500. I don't normally do this because it's 100 upkeep that I'm basically married to, but I will do it just because I don't want issues with the Pope. And we've only got, you know, 1 cardinal right now, so that 1 extra priest won't hurt too bad. But if he starts asking for too much more, I'm not going to do it, but that one I will do. New family member.
Sire. Yes,
Talk
sire.
to the Holy
Is
Roman
there
Empire.
something to discuss, my good man?
I can get some more money.
I see no reason why not. Until next time.
Next, we
Without
will go
question,
to the Papal
sire.
States and then to Sicily. So I've got decent growth here. Let's go ahead and do a port. So try to get even more money here. Now London is going to level up here soon. So now would probably be a good time to get some happiness buildings, because the higher your population gets, it can be kind of tricky with public order. Because the higher your population is, the more unhappy the city becomes. So you need, you know, buildings that give more happiness, just to balance everything out a bit. Alright, so I'm going to leave
Yes.
1 unit of mailed knights in this city,
Sire.
and 3 spearmen, just to garrison it for now. And then I'll take this army
We'll stop here, my lord.
along with this
By
cav,
your command. Joining
and
forces,
I'll
my
go
lord.
ahead and send it
Sire.
over there to take Dublin. Actually, Actually, I don't need that longbowman. I just need one more spear unit. And Nottingham is still a little bit ways off as far as leveling up, so we'll go ahead and get another farm.
Your Majesty. Yes, sire.
I'm actually thinking,
Orders, my lord.
because these aren't free upkeep units anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them. Because
Sire,
2 of these
my lord.
longbowmen
As you
instead
wish.
are
We'll
actually
make camp here, sire.
going to be a lot more worthwhile than all 3 of those units combined, so we're going to go that route there. Okay, there. Okay, so we've got free upkeep unit here now. Let's see, how many free upkeep units can I get? 2? So I'll get 1 more.
Sire, orders.
Get rid of one of these guys.
Sire,
And one of these guys.
My king. Yes.
orders.
And
my
just
lord.
because of my OCD,
Splitting.
My lord.
kind of reorganize these guys
Merging
a little
armies,
bit
my lord. Marching,
before
sir.
heading over
We
there
go
into
no
Ireland.
further today.
Sire.
Okay. And yeah.
Yes,
so
my
we're
lord.
good here. Go ahead and end turn. Getting a little bit concerned because we're not making too much money here. Kind of hurting for money a little bit. Yeah, 2,700 a turn is not very much, and I know a lot of that is just because I'm running so many mailed knights here. I do know that mailed knights are very expensive. I mean, yeah, upkeep is 250 a turn, so you know, just 4 of these is 1,000. You know, and I've got 6. So as soon as I take, oh my goodness, Scotland actually owns it. All right. So that's kind of an issue. But not too much of an issue, because I don't care if they own it, I'm taking it. I want it, it's mine. So we'll go ahead and retrain these units. I built a leather tanner, so that's going to give all of these units a little bit more armor. And because I know Scotland is probably going to counterattack me, I'm going to go ahead and replace those Militia Archers with 2 of my longbowmen. And go ahead and get more of a garrison in Nottingham just in case. Let's see what else we got going on here. We'll go ahead and get the mines here. We need to focus on money. We're kind of hurting for money right now, so. Go ahead and get an inn there.
Sire, as you wish.
And a grain exchange there. And that doesn't leave me anything left for this city, so we'll just retrain some units there for now. And honestly, he doesn't have very much in that town either, so actually
Command me, sire.
I will go ahead and disband most of these mailed knights.
Sire.
If not all, actually, yeah. If I have to recruit some mercenaries, I will next turn, but it looks like he's just got 1 unit there, and he could recruit maybe 1 or 2 extras, but against 3 English longbowmen, I don't care what he's got in there. Nothing's surviving that, so next turn we should have a lot more income.
Yes, my lord.
Alright, and the Pope is right there.
What is it you
so
would
let's go ahead and
discuss?
try to get some trade. Now, he is a little tricky here. You know, the Pope doesn't like to give money So I am thinking I'm just going to go ahead and do trade and map information.
I see no problem here. It would seem you are
So,
very reasonable.
Because that was a
Very well.
generous offer, it actually helped our papal standing a little bit there, so that's good.
Without question,
And then we'll just head
sire.
down south here and try
Yes,
to get
sire.
Sicily on board with some trade. Here's my
Yes,
new
Your Highness.
priest. Just put him out here. Go ahead and turn.
Orders. By your command. My king.
Right. Still got a mine coming. Stuff still being constructed. They're at 4% growth. That's actually really good. Yeah, let's just keep that going there. Now
Perhaps you
Scotland.
seek a diplomat and not a warrior.
Scotland is pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie, because even though he's got, I mean, well, for one thing, he's got a lot of spears. But he's also got these Highland Archers and Highlanders, which, you know, their stats aren't too shabby, honestly. I mean, defense is pretty low, attack is extremely high, effective against armor, obviously. You know, they're not crazy good, but, you know, against my spearmen, they could be a problem. So we'll just have to wait and see what they do, but I'm definitely
Yes.
attacking this.
Yes, sire! Moving to crush the enemy! They're dead once we breach the walls, sire! Patiently awaiting to breach and butcher,
Yeah, they're
sire!
gonna be pissed. Got going on here, anything? I'm gonna go ahead and get stables in there. This particular one only gives me hoblars, which I will never ever use. But it is a prerequisite building to get the better cavalry later on, so in my opinion, nothing really stands out to me to get right this second. Maybe the blacksmith next, so we can get some better armor on our units, but yeah.
Yes, my lord.
Alrighty. So
Your
let's
Majesty.
start get him
Without
going down.
question,
oh, there's Sicily
sire.
right there. Okay.
Tomorrow's journey planned out, sire.
All I need him for down here. Pretty much everybody's all set
order.
there.
They'll wish they'd never been born, sire!
Just need to kind
Patiently awaiting to breach and butcher,
of brace for
sire!
impact at York, because that
I look
Scottish army's
forward
pretty
to
damn
fighting
scary. Hopefully I can
Yes.
take Dublin next turn, so let's see what happens. Alright, so that yelling means somebody died. Who was it? Oh, okay, so it was their Scotland's cardinal, I guess. Let me just make sure I didn't lose anybody here. Faction now. Okay, yeah, we're looking good. Kind of switching my focus to money buildings now. Because I do not want to be starving for income ever. So. Now we'll get stables. There. Alright, so we've got a port here now. Hopefully Portugal does not declare war on me because they will probably start attacking my ports and stopping me from trading there.
Your orders,
Gonna
sire.
talk to
Is there
Sicily
something
real
I
quick.
can do for you, noble lord? We cannot quite
Oh,
accept.
that sucks.
You
So,
have further proposals?
the fact that he rejected my offer, like just flat out rejected it, I don't think that there's anything that I can do here that will make him accept an offer after that. I don't know if it was intentional or if it's a bug, but I'm pretty sure once they flat out reject an offer rather than like doing a counter offer, I don't know if they'll.
Forget
Yeah,
it. We're
they just do
not
this not interested thing. So my
Farewell,
diplomat,
noble one.
unfortunately, is going to have to sit there for another turn. That sucks. Because I'm going to have to talk to him again next turn and see if we can't get some kind of agreement. This town I wish would level up, because right now it's going to be very hard to defend against Scotland with what I've got there.
An order. We shall slaughter them, my lord.
As far as this
Patiently
town,
awaiting to breach and butcher,
I
sire.
could probably take it with only one battering ram, but just in case his towers end up killing it, I'm going to wait for the second one to finish.
Yes, my
Talk to
lord.
Sicily
What is
again.
it you would discuss with me?
Let's see. So it says it's a balanced offer, but he said that they would owe me too much. I don't even understand that. So, you know, under wealth it says that they're bankrupt. So maybe that's the problem. They just don't have money. I don't know what bankrupt means as far as like the actual dollar amount that they have, but I guess we'll try 500 and see.
This seems
Okay.
reasonable.
So they accepted it at
Yes,
500,
this
so I think that's
concludes our
what the
meeting,
issue was.
yes?
They just didn't have any money to give us last turn, so... So, let's go ahead and
Yes,
just
sire.
start
Tomorrow's journey
getting
planned
my
out, sire.
diplomat moving over there. Ooh, London is ready to upgrade. Heck yeah. Once we get London up to that settlement level, it's going to start producing a lot more money. And as you can see, I mean, we started at, I can't even remember what it was at. I think 1,300. It's already 1,000 more. And I think it's the same settlement level now that it was before. We haven't even gone up a full settlement level yet. So once that happens and we get all those building chains going, man, that's going to be amazing for our income.
Command me, sire.
Alright,
Yes,
we've got our
sire.
2 battering
Moving
rams
to
there
crush
now,
the
so
enemy.
we should be able to take this city. Go ahead and save, just in case.
Show no mercy. Kill them all. Units, await my orders. General's bodyguard. Forward.
So I'll go ahead and keep them on the ram just in case. I'm going to take fire at will off now. Let's see. Honestly, I'd rather be on that side, but... Yeah, because that side will give me a straight shot at the town center. Let's see. That's going to be a long haul, though. I won't put you guys through that, so we'll just go ahead and attack this one. Fire at will off. The reason I'm taking fire at will off is because I don't want them to, just randomly start firing arrows, because I don't want to pull his general from the town center. I'd rather him sit in there, which I don't even know if he's going to do right now. It looks like he's actually going to sit out near the gate, which No, he's going towards the town center. Okay, that's what we want him to do. Because if he sits in the town center, I can just shoot him to death without getting in melee combat, which obviously, archers being archers, I would lose this battle badly if I, you know, put these guys in melee combat against cavalry. But we really want to utilize our strengths here. Now I will go ahead and move these archer units up a little bit, because if he does try to counterattack me, I have seen the AI come out the gate even though they're the defenders. I have seen it, like, if the AI sees an opportunity to like counterattack you, I have seen them take it sometimes, but maybe having some backup will make them think otherwise. I'll go ahead and speed this up.
The battering ram is in place. It'll not be long before our enemy's defenses fall. Our men have done well. The gates have fallen.
Alright, let's get these guys bunched up together a little bit. I want them all to be in formation in here, relatively close to the same time, just so if he does try to counterattack me, I have units close in position to be able to fight back. But anytime you're up against a general's bodyguard unit like this and all you have is archers, it's very, very risky.
The Lord is with us today.
Okay, looks like he's moving.
We've captured the enemy's wall.
I'm gonna go ahead and swing right, or try to. Let's see what he does. Now my general's bodyguard is pretty much the same size as his, so if I have to use my general unit to protect my archers, I can do that. And I'm actually going to try to get my archers into the spot that I wanted originally over here, because with my long-range missiles on those longbowmen, I can hit him from here, so this is more ideal. Go ahead and get my general over here, and we're just going to be shifting in a circle here to get into position. But in order to win this pretty decisively, I just want to make sure I've got a range advantage here. Because if I hit him from here, you know, they're just going to be shooting up and over rather than getting direct hits on him, and it's not going to be nearly as effective. So if I can get these archers over here, I'll be able to thin him out to the point where he's not as big of a threat to my archers anymore. Just keeping an eye on him over there. He doesn't seem to be threatened by us very much yet. But he definitely will react, I think, once we start firing at him. So I'm going to try to set these archers up in a way where every single one of them has a clear shot on him. And again, I'm going to try to keep my general close by in case I need to countercharge. Actually, you know what? This might be a better spot for my general to be in, because I can cut him off halfway if he starts running down the road to get to my archers. And all I need is for a few of these horses to just kind of catch him while he's heading down here, and it'll basically stop his unit from moving, and I might be able to catch him right here and just be able to continue shooting them. Right, so my guys are a little winded right now. I'll wait for them to rest up just a little bit. I'd rather them be warmed up. Let's speed it up real quick. Have been tired, already warmed up. So yeah, all three, no? Sometimes all three are in range and sometimes they're not. So I'm just gonna put them on fire at will and see what happens. Alright, yeah, all three units are firing.
General's bodyguard!
We're being attacked!
Alright, so we got their attention. Let's go ahead and put our plan into action. So that we get my... Oh, hang on. He stopped advancing. Oh, no, there he is. Okay. So let's go ahead and hit him with my general unit. We'll just get him tied up here. And now most of his formation is still out in the street, so my archers will continue to hit him and thin him out while my general just kind of holds him in place right now.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
And he's actually doing a pretty good amount of damage to me. Where's my general at? That's the one thing, I do not want my general actually in the fight. Just his unit. Like
The
his
enemy are
bodyguard.
badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Yeah, they're starting to push me a little bit down the road, so I'm not as effective as I was when they were out here. I have killed quite a few. I'm just getting kind of nervous because I don't see my general in there yet. Okay, I see him. He's in a safe spot. Let's go ahead and push one unit of longbows up a little bit because I don't have line of sight anymore. Come on, move. Not listening to me very well right now.
Double time!
Go ahead and push all these units up a little bit. Getting kind of nervous. But I'm getting point-blank shots on them now, so... I should have done that sooner, but...
The enemy army
Okay, there we
flees
go.
the field.
I
Pursue
can just
it.
end
This
it.
is a clear victory.
I usually like to at least get the kill on the general, but just for the sake of time, I'll just end it.
Such is the fate of all who oppose us. The settlement has fallen. Take the spoils of war.
Oh yeah, next, maybe not next turn, but definitely the turn after will probably have the next settlement level as well, so that'll be great. Looks like he's just got a leather tanner here now. These 3 longbowman units, I'm just gonna have them as a garrison for now, but as we get the next settlement level, I will replace them with the free upkeep spearman units. Just doing a quick once-over on all of my
God's servant.
buildings. Now, there's a heretic right here, and heretics
On my way.
basically
Continuing
lower
once I have
your,
rested.
religion level, so I'm going to send my cardinal up there and hopefully we
Name
can
the blasphemer.
get rid of him, which is a 95% success
They
rate,
shall
so
stand trial.
we'll go for it. Don't have anything being built here, so go ahead and do a blacksmith so that we can get our armor higher on these units. I don't think I went over that yet, actually. So, you know, like when we first started this campaign, you saw my Levy Spearmen had a attack and defense of 7 defense and 5 attack. Well, right now they've got that bronze shield right there, so they actually get 1 bonus to their armor. So before they didn't have any armor, now they've got 1 armor. And it even says right here, next armor upgrade is light mail. So what did we build here? A leather tanner. So right now, you know, they've got, you know, just a light leather armor on. And then as we build our blacksmith up, they'll get light mail, and then heavy mail, and then like partial plate, and then full plate, and you know, all that stuff. So just gives your units some better stats. And you know, late game, these spearmen really struggle to keep up. So you know, having maxed out armor, and you can even get like a sword. Like a sword down here, so you can actually upgrade their attack as well. So that kind of helps. I mean, they never really do keep up in the late game, in my opinion, but it at least helps
Your
them
Majesty.
kind of hold their own a little bit once you start getting into that area of the game. But you know, we'll get to all that. All right, so King William just died. Man, I made it just in time to Dublin. Mission failed. I don't even know what that mission was, but it must not have been very important. So, largest faction, so we've got the most settlements on the map right now. That will probably change unless we can keep this momentum going. Alright, so let's see what else we got on here. So this settlement is going to level up soon, so that's really good. And this one can actually make the Levy Spearmen and Longbowmen, so we are going to go ahead and get the Knight Stable built. We can already get mailed knights, but this Knight Stable just allows us to have more of them. So right now we can recruit 3. Once we get that Knight Stable, we can, you know, have more in our recruitment pool. And I don't really use mailed knights that much, but just having that prerequisite building will eventually allow us to get like feudal knights and English knights, which English knights are very nice to have. Candidate for adoption. Anytime I look at these candidates for adoption and stuff, I always like to look at the age. You know, if they're already in their 50s, it's probably not going to be very beneficial, but anytime it says like 24, or I think earlier in this campaign I even had one that said 18, those are ones I love to see. Alright, so they call the Crusade, and my mission is they want my faction heir to join the Crusade. Honestly, that's probably not going to happen. Recruit a priest, that's also probably not going to happen. Which is fine, but
The Holy Bible may
I just
preach
don't have the
peace,
money to
but when it is
launch a
Christendom
freaking
itself
crusade
that is
right now.
threatened, then it is every Christian's duty to defend all that is holy. His Holiness the Pope has called a crusade to reclaim the Holy Lands from the infidel, who would deny Christian pilgrims their right to visit the holy places. It is time for the armies of Christendom to put aside their differences and unite under one banner, the sign of the cross, and give back God's children what is rightfully theirs, or die trying.
Alright, so yeah, that's where they called the Crusade. Now, as you can see, that is quite literally on the other side of the map right now. And, you know, that might be easier for some of these more eastern factions, you know, maybe even Italian factions, but...
Sire, Without question,
as England,
sire.
that is kind
Tomorrow's
of a struggle,
journey planned out,
because in
sire.
order to even get over there, I would have to, you know, build an army first, then put said army onto my ship,
ready, sire.
and then sail all the way around Spain. It's just not feasible right now, so I'm not even going to worry about the Crusade. And I wish York would level up already. I mean, I know I could lower the tax rate and it would just already be done, but I'm stubborn. Alright, so our priest there was able to get rid of that heretic for us, so that's good. Blasphemer execute. Articus? You're in the wrong timeline there, bud. And his piety went up for that, so also good. Not that we're gonna get much involved. So the Crusade grows for Cairo. Looks like Hungary joined, and that's about it. Alright, Dublin's ready to be upgraded. Family member. Nothing that involves us there. Papal States, our relations are poor. I don't know why. I never do anything. Do you? So we've got that town being upgraded. I think they're mad at me because of what I'm doing to Scotland right now, but that's okay. Alright, so London is now upgraded. I can get another free upkeep unit there. We'll go ahead and upgrade our mines and get even more income from there. So I think just by upgrading the walls, I think we actually, maybe not, but I think our income may have gone up by like 100 just from upgrading the settlement level. I'm not sure, but for sure as we build more stuff in there, we're definitely going to get a lot more income. And here, same thing as Nottingham, I'm going to go ahead and get a stable so we can start getting some better cavalry out. Oh, what the heck happened? Where's my priest
Yes, Your Highness.
I had a priest down here. Is this him?
Lords are beneath me. I am the savior.
I'm thinking this may have been my priest. I think he actually went rogue on me. I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay. Well, we'll definitely take care of that here soon. Usually instead of priests to take care of those like heretics, I'll actually use assassins, just because assassins are more
Greetings, noble lord.
dual utility.
I have something to discuss with you.
Because they can not only assassinate heretics, but also like enemy generals and stuff like that. As far as this offer from Spain, I try to stay away from alliances, but in this case, they don't have any alliances with anybody near me, which is good. So I'm just going to go ahead and accept
Both
that.
wise and generous
because
of you to agree, my lord.
I want to still be able to expand.
Goodbye, lord.
So if they were
It has
allied
been
with
a
like
pleasure.
France or Scotland, I probably would not have done that.
Yes, my lord.
But they're not,
Yes, sire.
you know,
Tomorrow's
allied to
journey
anybody near
planned
me,
out,
so I
sire.
still have the expansion, but I can at least work on getting some better relationships with some of these other factions, because as you can see here, already with the Papal States, I am the lowest on the entire board right now, so. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get Nottingham upgraded. We're going to have some really good units coming out of there soon. Carnarvon. They don't really have much at all. Go ahead and focus on growth again there. Heading in the right direction. Okay.
I bring word from mon roi, noble sire.
France is going to start their BS now. Okay. Their demands. Give us money or we will attack. Bring it.
Enough. Au revoir.
So we pretty much know, you know, an attack from the French is imminent at this point. I'm just going to put one extra longbowman unit in the city there. I think my 3... Oh, France joined the Crusade. Hopefully they don't turn around and hit me with that army. But like I was saying, we know a French attack is imminent, so I'm going to start bolstering some of these towns here. And eventually I will probably send an army from the mainland down there to deal with them. But for right now I am still mainly focusing on just the unification of the northwest here. Alright, so Dublin was upgraded. Let's go ahead and get some mines in there. Mines are a huge money maker. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting some spearmen made, just to have in preparation for Scotland. And it's gonna be a while. I do want to try to get some siege equipment. Might have to sacrifice focusing on some of these other buildings just to get some siege equipment buildings made. Oh, that was a Polish diplomat. I should have looked at that.
Yes, my lord.
How
We've got
is it
the
I may help
Byzantine
you, noble
Empire
lord?
here. We can go ahead and talk to them. I like it when you can find their agents nearby, so you're not having
Almost,
to... Ah,
but
dang
not
it.
quite
They
acceptable.
rejected me.
Farewell, noble majesty.
But yeah, I prefer it when their agents are closer to me, so I'm not having to walk across the whole map for it. Go ahead and get a leather tanner in there. Let's get some armor on our soldiers just in case we get attacked. Go ahead and get the ballista maker here in London. I want to try to get some trebuchets, or at least catapults, to take Edinburgh and Inverness with.
I've a claymore for you here, Jimmy.
Not quite sure what they're doing there with that army.
I'm only here to fight the Yagaloot. Hail my king!
I'm gonna bring my faction leader down here.
Hail
How
my
old is he?
king!
Okay, so he's still only 39. He's got plenty of life left in him. So, that being said, he's probably gonna lead my army against Scotland. And once this mine is done being built, I'm gonna go ahead and get a town guard so I can get some spearmen in there, just in case Scotland decides to move that way.
Yes, my lord.
Woodsman's Guild. So the Woodsman's Guild actually gives a bonus to archers, so we'll go ahead and get that there in Nottingham. So 486. So yeah, it gives them one bonus melee attack, it looks like. Go ahead and retrain them. So now, as you can see, I can get dismounted feudal knights. So these are actual, like, heavy swordsmen. These are a lot better than the spearmen we've been using. A little bit pricey. You know, the armored swordsmen are a little bit better. I'll show you guys those here soon. but just as an early heavy infantry unit, these are great to have. So yeah, we'll go ahead and retrain those longbowmen so we can get their attack bonus up a little bit. We get one more spearman there. So let's see, we can get some feudal knights here in a few turns. Go ahead and get a mustering hall so I can finally retrain these spearmen. Failed. Recruit a priest. Yeah, the Pope is definitely not happy with me, but sorry. Don't know what to say, buddy. Oh, I don't think I used my
Your
diplomat
orders,
last
sire.
turn. Let's see if we
You
can
have a
do
message for my people?
Byzantine Empire again. So they're bankrupt as well, so I think that's what's the problem, why they won't do the 1,000, but let's see if we can do 500. Accepted,
I see no
okay.
true problem. Until next time, my lord.
And then we'll move
Without
over.
question,
Hopefully
sire.
this Hungarian princess will still be here next turn, so I'm not having to travel far, but we'll leave him there for now. So here we're looking pretty good. Got silver armor on everybody. We're about to have some armor on everybody. Go ahead and get a blacksmith going. We'll get even heavier armor on them, just to give them a little more survivability. Let's go ahead and get the dismounted knights. And one unit of longbowmen. I may have to do mailed knights for this attack on Scotland. I don't think I'm going to have feudal knights in time. I mean, I could just wait a little bit longer to do the actual attack, and that way I'll have all the units that I actually want for the attack, but we'll see how it goes. Depends how aggressive they get. They haven't really launched a counterattack on me just yet.
I'd
But
welcome
that
a
army
trial by
is
arms to end this
definitely
feud.
getting scary. And he's got 5 pieces of siege equipment too. That is definitely a massive army. I'm actually
Sire,
a little bit nervous about that. I'm
Yes,
gonna go ahead
sire.
and send
We'll make camp here, sire.
2 units of archers just as a placeholder over there, because that's making me really nervous how big that army's getting.
My lord. As you wish.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get the catapult maker. It'll just make our time against Scotland a lot easier. That way we're not having to take so many casualties on the wall like the last siege we did. Vitally important there. Alright, so we can start getting some spear militia in this town. Go ahead and get a port there, get some money going. Here we can finally retrain our spearmen. Let's go ahead and get the bowyer. We'll get some archers in there as well. Oh, we're finally starting to get close here with upgrading York.
Your Majesty.
But our Hungarian princess is still
My
here.
lord, you have
They're
a proposition
bankrupt
for
as
my
well.
people.
Man, everybody's bankrupt. Because of that crusade, I'm telling you. Everybody's spending all their money on it except me.
I must inform you, we cannot agree to this.
Wow, I guess they don't have any money. Whatever.
A
I'll
fair
just do
deal.
it.
Farewell, then, my lord.
Let's go ahead and head up here.
Yes, sire.
Maybe we can talk to Denmark. To London. Oh, okay. Won't complain about that.
Orders.
And send those
Sire.
over to Carnarvon.
Yes, sire. March to exhaustion, sire.
Carnarvon.
Continuing
I don't know
later.
how that's pronounced. That's whatever. Get another feudal knight going. We're gonna have some actual feudal knights here in a second. That'll be good. Feudal knights aren't that much better than mailed knights, but I think they look a lot cooler. Because they actually have your nation's colors on them. Kind of cool. Ooh, Merchants Guild in London, yes please. I think that helps with trade, so that'll give us more income. Take settlement Edinburgh. Okay, mission failed. Yeah, I didn't really care about that crusade. Let's see how the Pope feels about us now. Okay, hasn't been hurt too bad. Crusade grows, Venice. Get another spearman. Alright, now we've got actual feudal knights. They look really cool. And get that recruited. And from there, I'll go ahead and get an archery range started. That'll give us the better longbowmen. And how are we looking on the catapult range? 2 more turns. It's kind of a weak cavalry unit.
You want to... My lord, as you wish. I will only address you in battle.
Hail, my king!
Your orders, sire. Without question, sire.
You know, eventually our diplomat will die of old age too. And I don't know if I'll even replace him or not. I'm just kind of using him while I've got him for now, but rather than relying on, you know, trade for money here, we're just going to rely on taking over the entire world. So. Let's go ahead and get this one for the public health bonus. Get another feudal knight and a dismounted feudal knight.
Orders.
Put him in.
Death. Combining forces, sire.
Like
I'll rip
Scotland's
off your
actually-
head and spit down your neck.
Looks like they're actually
I've
sending
a
something
claymore
to
for
me.
you here, Jimmy.
My lord, as you wish.
Alright, so that looks like a decent garrison in there now. Let's go ahead and get a small chapel. Maybe that'll make the Pope happy. But probably not. Get a market in Dublin. Looking there. So right now, you know, I'm not being very aggressive because, I mean, I could, you know, just keep building big armies and, you know, taking territory and stuff, but like you saw in that one battle where I just had the spearmen and the archers, the spearmen do very bad on walls, and, you know, I could just keep overpowering the enemy with numbers like that, but I don't enjoy doing it, so I'm just kind of sitting back right now, focusing on what I do have a little bit, and I've got, you know, mid-game units coming out now. You know, I've got the feudal knights, dismounted feudal knights, and I would even consider the regular longbowmen mid-game units, but I've even got the Yeoman Archers coming, which are even better than the longbowmen. I mean, even significantly better. I mean, you know, 5 defense, 9 melee attack, which is super high. and 8 missile attacks. So I mean, these guys can really hold their own. I mean, they're almost like medium infantry with very overpowered bows. I mean, seriously, they're badass. And that's not even the end of it. Just wait until we get retinues. Oh my god. I've tested it out at some point with just full stack armies of retinue longbowmen, and it's like not even fun at that point because you don't have to do anything. Let me see here. I still kind of want to focus a little bit on growth here because I want to get the cathedral and the huge cathedral first before anyone else. Because that'll give us bonuses with the Pope, so hoping maybe that will make him happy. I don't want to be, you know, at war with all of Christendom, you know. So, go ahead and get a farm there so we can get them leveled up. Another spear militia. Yeah, I got 3 free upkeep units there, so we'll get him built. Are they gonna attack? Are they gonna do it? Are they just gonna threaten me again? No. From my experience, when they
Sire.
I don't know if I have any agreements with Poland.
Is there
No,
something I can do for you?
So they have meager wealth, so I should be able to get 1,000 out of them, hopefully.
Your
Yep,
plan
perfect.
seems that is all. Farewell.
Yes,
Wait,
sire.
what just happened?
Tomorrow's journey planned out,
Dennis
sire.
got excommunicated. I thought I did something. I was like, oh my god, I pissed the Pope off. Down, ready to upgrade York. Alright, so they're finally ready to upgrade. Scotland still kind of scaring me with that army. Jihad called on Baghdad. Nothing really to be concerned about.
Sire,
I'm
my
gonna
lord.
cut back on one of these units here. Probably do one more dismounted feudal knight. I still want one actual feudal knight. I try to have a general and then 4 cavalry total. And we just got another general here.
Hail my king! Hail my
attention to
king!
that,
Hail
but-
my king!
Go ahead and send him to govern
Yes, my liege.
Carnarvon. We can get
We
rid
shall
of that
continue
failed
tomorrow,
knight
my
unit.
liege.
And start getting these catapults built. I only really need 2 of them to take Edinburgh. Second catapult. You know, I'm trying to think here. Our growth level is actually pretty good for the amount of population that we have. So I might not need that bigger farm just yet. So I'm actually thinking maybe get these 2 trade buildings going first. Okay, now we've got access to the Yeoman Archers, so these guys are going to be awesome. I'm not going to recruit them just yet.
Orders.
Cav
Sire.
into our general.
By your command. Merging armies, my lord.
Hail my king!
I need
Orders.
probably
My lord.
do.
Sire.
I'm gonna do the swordsmen
My lord.
first because they're gonna
Sire.
be my.
Order. Yes, sire. Combining
They're gonna be the
forces,
main force
sire.
that actually takes
My
the
lord.
city. So
Joining forces, my lord. Order.
archers, and that
Combining
leaves me room
forces,
for
sire.
2 catapults. Now this
Hail
isn't
my king!
my, you know, typical main army composition. You know, I'm just kind of using what I've got for now. I'm gonna go ahead and recruit these Yeoman Archers just to replace the archers I just took out of here. What else do? to get that drill square, because I think I can actually get armored swordsmen with the next city, or the next building.
Hail my king!
Finally get rid of these mailed knights in there. How are we looking? Still got a ways to go. They could use some population growth. We got to get them built up. Get a larger church in there. Good. Let's check on our
Yes, my
diplomat.
lord.
Let's get him up there.
Without question, sire.
And we
Tomorrow's
are ready
journey
to
planned.
enter. See what Milan wants.
Greetings. Our people have something to discuss.
They're enemies with Venice. I'm going to decline.
No matter. Perhaps something else then. Until
not
next
really.
time.
You know, I'm all for making friends. I mean, typically I don't really ally with anybody, honestly.
As you wish.
Hail my king!
Yes, my
But I am doing it just so, you know, you guys can see how diplomacy works. And I said yes to Spain because they had a lot of allies, but they didn't have any enemies. But with Milan being at war with Venice, I didn't want to get dragged into any of that mess, so I declined them. We're looking good there.
Hail my king!
Orders.
My catapults
your
just need to
command.
catch up with my main army, and then we'll be heading towards Edinburgh to take that. And everything else is kind of looking good. You know, we're just
Your orders, sire.
slowly but
Yes,
surely.
sire.
You know, we're just getting kind of
Tomorrow's
built up here.
journey planned out, sire.
You know, we're just now kind of getting some of those mid-game units, but here soon, everything, you know, everything will be mid-game level, and then we'll start getting into like late-game stuff. But as far as our turn counter, we are very, very early in game still.
Hail my king!
Sire. As you wish. Merging armies, my lord.
Full army's ready to go.
By your will, sire, we
I'm gonna
shall
try to
engage.
chase this army
We shall
off,
continue
and then
tomorrow,
I'll
my liege.
hit Edinburgh there. Alright, so this city is now upgraded. I will go ahead and actually get the town guard for, well no, because I was going to get the town guard just so I could get these spear militia as a free upkeep unit. But I'm actually going to do mines instead to get more money.
Hail my king!
Because my main army is going to chase that army off here in a second anyway, so I don't really need to focus on military there right now. Now, go ahead and... I don't really need to focus on military here right now. Let's just do the chapel.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, we just
Without
passed it.
question, sire. Tomorrow's journey planned out, sire.
And France is just going to keep threatening me. Oh, they're actually attacking. With that? What are you going to do with that?
The enemy lays siege to our people, sire.
You got nothing in it, my dude.
Hail my king! As you will, my king. To battle.
I'll rip off your head and spit down your neck. I'm only here to fight thee, you galoot.
Portugal, France, England. Yeah, he doesn't have anything in
May
his
we
army.
meet on the battlefield?
It's just his
you and
general.
I.
Well, I got bad news for you, dude. That ain't gonna work out. I am gonna counterattack that army, but before I do, I just want to take a look at everything else we got going on here. So, alright, there's my armored swordsman. So that is pretty much my true main infantry. That's gonna go even into late game.
Hail my king!
Using those very, very heavily. And you'll see why here in a second.
Yes, my lord.
You have something to discuss with us?
Trade rights, map information, make payment.
Not a bad offer. Farewell to you.
And let's go ahead
Yes,
and start
sire.
heading east.
Tomorrow's journey planned out, sire.
And let's go ahead and attack this guy,
Sire,
because
marching to war.
I don't think he understands what he's up against here.
To arms, men! Form up lines and prepare for battle!
Units, await my orders.
So all I'm gonna do here is just put a good spear line out in front, put my archers behind that, and then my peasants behind that, and just shoot him to death. If he charges my spearmen, it's gonna suck, but you know, I think with 3 whole units of them, I think we'll be okay. But there is always a chance that my spearmen might break after taking a charge from a heavy cavalry unit out in the field like this. Triple speed it. Alright. I don't know how close we need it to be. Probably closer than that, but we'll start with that. I'm just keeping my archers selected because if he starts moving, I need to be able to right-click him and get them shooting as soon as possible. I forgot to mention early on, just for anybody that doesn't know this, general units, not only are they a very heavy cavalry unit, but they also have 2 hit points, and basically what that means is you have to kill each soldier in the unit twice for it to count as an actual kill, if that makes sense. So they are just a little bit extra tanky because technically, you have to do that much more work to actually get the kill. Which is why, you'll see them eat a lot of arrows sometimes and move him up a little bit more. Because even though he's just a peasant unit, he is my general unit, and I might need him for morale purposes. But my archers are in range. But, you usually see, even though I've got 2 really good archer units firing on him, I only killed 1 of his units, even though I fired 240 arrows into him. So, got him pulling something here. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, stop. Okay. That was less than ideal. They might break. Yeah, they're gonna break. I was afraid of that. I don't even know if it'll help, but I'm gonna sound the horn there just to try to keep them in the fight longer. So yeah, putting my general right behind this unit. My god, I almost lost this whole battle that easily, honestly, because if that unit had broken, I think all of my spears probably would have broken.
Only half the enemy force remains.
But yeah, I'm just laying
The
into
battle is
him
very
with
much in our
everything I've
favor.
got.
If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours. The
There
enemy
we go.
king lies dead.
There it is.
Slain by our gallant warriors.
Behold how our...
Alright, good.
This is a clear victory.
So, yeah, I mean, that's how fast things can go wrong.
Is ours,
But all in all, not too bad. You know, we didn't lose any archers, just some spearmen. So, you know, we can just retrain those up. The archers I can't retrain in this city, so that was definitely
Hail my
a
king.
decent turn of events. But we can go ahead and get rid of these peasants now that we've got an actual general in there at this point, so. But yeah, mobility on those on that cav is definitely a huge plus because they can, you know, maneuver around your lines like that. And I kind of sat there and let him do it. I didn't really react as fast as I should have because I honestly have never seen the enemy, you know, do that before. I wasn't quite sure what he was doing, if he was just moving around the side of me or if he was actually going to charge that unit. I thought he was just, I thought he was actually targeting my archer unit on the other side of my spear, so I started to move my right spear unit right to block him, but he ended up charging that unit and almost wiped it out. But live and learn. What do they want now? I just killed their king.
Bonjour.
Become a vassal.
Brains to listen to this.
Are you insane? I just killed your king. I ain't gonna become your vassal. You can become my vassal. Yeah, you know what? Here, here, become my vassal. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Forget this. Adieu, senor.
They're crazy.
Hail my king.
Alright, let's see what happens
By
here.
your will,
yeah,
sire,
I didn't
we
think he
shall
was gonna
engage.
stay
By
for
God's
that fight.
will, we have triumphed. Hail my king. As you command, my liege.
You get the spear militia there. We are running out of
Yes,
money
my
again.
lord. Without question, sire.
War is expensive.
God's servant. In God's name.
Hail my king. Hail my king.
Getting close there.
Your orders, sire.
Going.
Yes, sire.
There's only a few factions I have not gotten trade agreements with. I think Russia, Egypt, the Turks, and I think that's it. Maybe the Moors. I can't remember if I got with them or not. Oh, I didn't mean to end turn. Oh, I'm dumb. Nope. Not. We're not doing that. Well, yeah, let's let this go, but I did not mean to end turn.
I bear a message that you would be
whatever.
wise,
I didn't even know I
both
was at war
wise
with them, to be
and
honest.
gentle. Goodbye. It has been a
But
pleasure.
I am actually going to go ahead and load the autosave because I seriously did not mean to end turn. What I meant to do
Hail my
was
king.
attack Edinburgh.
By your will, sire,
So,
we shall engage.
Go ahead and save
Laying
this.
siege, noble sire.
Now let's go ahead and attack it. Alright, so we've got 2 general units there and a big ass army right there. So let's do this. This is going to be challenging, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I saved or not. I'm kind of nervous here, but let's
Muster
do
your
this.
courage,
We do
men.
outnumber them.
We
and,
march into battle.
You know, with our dismounted feudal knights, we certainly have, you know, unit superiority. But, you know, they do have home field advantage, and the enemy can sometimes be tricky when they have a lot of siege equipment inside their own walls. I could never pull off some of the shots that these AI armies pull off with siege equipment inside cities. I don't know how they get the shots off that they do, but man, I've had like half a unit wiped in one shot from like a trebuchet or a catapult, because, you know, you're kind of clumped up, you know, inside the city streets, and this, you know, big flaming rock just goes through your formation. It just completely obliterates you. So, all right, let's
The enemy
do
have
this.
brought up more men. They hope to make up in numbers what they lack in gallantry.
Now, he doesn't have much inside the city right now, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get that gate down early and just get some infantry as a placeholder inside of it. We missed a lot of those shots, unfortunately. We only hit it with one rock, it looks like. Still missing. There we go. Hit it one more time. But I'm going to try to get my entire army inside the walls at least before his reinforcements get here. One more shot, guys. Come on. You can do it. I know you can. Trying my best to keep my units out of the line of fire. So, catapults. A little bit danger close. Especially with how bad they're missing. My god. I've still only hit it 4 times. Come on. One shot. One shot. Oh my god, you guys suck. I mean, it is kind of hard because of like how deep in this pocket the actual gate is. If it was on the outside, it'd be easy. It's not easy getting it inside.
The gates are down!
Thank God. Alright. Let's get in there. Got some enemy units pretty close already. Okay, that's his cav, so let's go ahead and get spearmen in the front. Let's go ahead and get these
Our
guys
soldiers have proved their worth
right.
today. The enemy's walls belong to us now.
Not too concerned about the towers. I think I can keep the enemy far enough away from this little area here, so it won't become a problem. Get our longbowmen in there. Put some spearmen on the left side too, because I know he's got cav coming through that gate. That leaves me at... Go ahead and put my artillery inside just because I don't want any surprises from the enemy. And I'm going to try to do something a little bit cheeky here. If you look on the map, you can see there's a little bit of his army lagging behind in the very back there. I think that is his artillery. I'm going to try to kill it all before it even makes it inside the city. So these 3 heavy infantry I'll put around the right side. I think that'll be a pretty safe area for them. Where are these spearmen at? There they are. Over here. Actually, I'll put these guys here. Kind of tricky. Not quite sure what they're doing. They're kind of stuck in the gate there. And the only reason I'm kind of concerned about that is because if he sees my cav unit running out here, he might send something to counter it. And yeah, that is his artillery lagging in the back there. So, yeah, the overall plan is kind of solid, but I don't think it may not work out the way I want it to. I'm not sure yet. Let's go ahead and get my longbowmen on the walls. They're basically just going to be like my just-in-case force, and you know, with his reinforcing army coming, he might try to counterattack me, so we'll see what happens. These guys I might leave on the outside of the wall just in case something comes behind me while I'm not paying attention. Okay, so it looks like he's finally getting his main army into the center there, so I might be okay to hit that artillery. Let's go ahead and get in that direction now. So I've got the left covered. I'm gonna get some swordsmen over there just to back those spears up. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get these 3 swordsmen a little bit deeper into this settlement. Get my general in there as well. And looks like all of his army is inside the city now, so I don't have to worry about anything coming up behind me. So I'll go ahead and put this cav in there as well. Archers are taking forever to get into position. Oh man, this is gonna be great. So he's got what, four units there? Oh, I'm getting hit by something. What am I getting hit by? Wait, what am I getting hit by? Oh, hello. Okay. So we've got some enemies pushing us here. So I'm gonna go ahead and send my general over in that direction. Oh wow, they just did a ton of damage to me. They're being super aggressive. What's up with that, guys? What's up with that? Now they're gonna get torn apart.
Heavy infantry!
Get those swordsmen in there as well. Alright, so this is gonna take some multitasking.
Our men are winning the battle. If we
here.
continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Bro, what are they doing? What is this long line, this long column that they're doing here? Like, get in there. Let's go. Get into their formation here. Like, I'm not sure what they're doing. I usually like to take like a wide formation and hit them with a large front line. I'm not sure what they're doing. Alright, so I broke those archers now. So. I don't think he had very many archers in general, so I've got my general himself kind of chasing that down a bit. I've really got to get this cav unit to work right here. You know, this game is a little bit buggy with the pathing and like how unit formations work, because you see every time he actually gets engaged with something, he takes this like long but narrow column, and I'm not sure why they do that.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
So one of their archer units actually stood and fought. Ooh, I gotta be careful. This general's bodyguard is right there. Alright, Alright, so I can't afford to be very passive here because he is kind of... It seems like he's kind of probing me a little bit to, you know, just to pick at me and maybe find some weaknesses. You know, the AI, in my opinion, in these older games, they're not as smart as like a lot of the newer AIs that Creative Assembly have in their more modern games, but, you know, they can do some pretty crazy things to you. Okay, what is my general doing? Come on. Go get him. Let's get these spearmen up here. I'm gonna just try to get the enemy's center locked down. And we're gonna go ahead and back them up with some swordsmen. And my 3 swordsmen over here. Go ahead and get on this side. And I'm also going to put these cav over here too, because I've got 2 different paths I can take here. So I'm going to end up just completely slamming the enemy right there. They're popping up now, there's not much left. So I'm going to pull my general back and just have him sit in front of that gate for now. Alright, let's take a look at our center. I've just got 3 spearmen units there. Basically just as a placeholder. These archers can come down. The enemy's not actually pushing me there anymore, so... Alright, we took that gate, so I can get this cav unit inside the settlement. We were able to wipe out all of that artillery, so we don't have to worry about getting hit by that inside the settlement, so that's great. I'm going to go ahead and just get my spearmen walking towards the enemy's center there. Alright, he's got some Irish kerns coming at me. Those are, they throw spears or javelins, and they actually hurt a lot, so I'm just going to go ahead and start launching my main attack. I'm going to get my general's bodyguard up there just for the morale effect. This unit I'm going to go ahead and send around back. He's pretty tired, you know, he's been running around the whole map for quite some time now, so I don't know how much fight he's actually going to be able to put up there, but let's go ahead.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
I'm going to focus more heavily on this side than this side because I've just got so much in that corner. But I'm going to go ahead and start getting these units starting to move towards the enemy's center. So, let's go ahead and start the main assault here. My spearmen, I'm actually going to send over here to kill his general. I saw him there on the side, so I'm going to get my general right behind all of these guys, boost their morale. These guys, let's get them running. There's another general's bodyguard there. This heavy infantry, we'll go ahead and start getting them running. Let's get them running.
Our men are winning the battle.
And
if we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
I have this cav unit in the back. I'm going to go ahead and flank his enemy general unit right there. I think that's actually the enemy king. Yeah, you can usually tell because he has the highest unit number as far as his bodyguard goes. This is his faction heir, it looks like. He's at 56. Alright, so here we go. We're pretty much completely surrounding him now. There's another general there, so these bodyguards are going to fight against. Yeah, look at them, they're just shredding that spear unit. Oh my god. I need to get my general nearby. They might break. Let's get him a little closer. So he actually turned on my feudal knights. That's not what I wanted. I wanted him to focus more on my spearmen. instead of that feudal knight unit. Yeah, I think I'm going to lose that feudal knight unit if that keeps up. Gotta get that general unit dead.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies
There's
dead.
one general
We've
down.
sent the base cur to hell.
We really need that king unit down. How are we looking here? We're still steady. Morale is decent. What is that? A spear unit? I didn't even know he was back there. Okay, so I'm gonna send that dismounted feudal knight just to focus him down a little bit. All of my feudal knights are really putting in work here, but they're taking a lot of losses. I mean, so is everyone else, honestly. I knew this fight wasn't going to be easy. But the good news is most of the enemy's cavalry is dead, or at least his heavy cavalry. He's got one general unit there, but that just means, you know, we're gonna.
The enemy king is slain. A worthy enemy, but no less dead for that.
But basically,
we must press our advantage.
He's pretty much exhausted all of his good units. So yeah, we've taken a lot of casualties up to this point, but we've also fought pretty much
only half the enemy
best
force
his army
remains.
had. So our losses are going to start slowing down now. This unit might break if the other goes. So 24 still left in that unit, and we're basically going to be able to kill it all for free without it putting up a fight. So that's huge. Awesome. All right. I'm not going to send him to fight anymore, that feudal knight unit, because he's already pretty low. Let's get my general close to the main battle,
Only
though.
half the enemy force remains.
Yeah, we broke that spear unit there, so that whole unit just got wiped, so that's good. Let's see how we're looking. So we've lost 20% of our army, but we've killed 65% of his, so we're doing pretty good. What is this spear unit doing? Let's go. So I need to really target all of my infantry here and try to get them to push a little harder. So I'm basically just targeting a unit that is kind of centralized here. They'll still fight other units here. They'll fight pretty much whatever's in front of them. But sometimes it helps them be a little bit more efficient in the fight, I feel like. I don't know if that's true or not, but it makes me feel better to click on them, so. Let's see what we got going on over here. So these guys are actually doing work. You know, they're not really taking too many casualties compared to what they've been up against. I mean, as you can see here, they've been up against like two, maybe three general bodyguards, along with some other cav units, so, and they haven't really been taking very many losses, so they've been doing really good. Happy with their performance. My general decided to run right into the middle of the enemy formation, not just the unit, but my actual general himself. He was like he's right there, but he was like right in the thick of it all. I don't know what the heck he's trying to do. Suicide himself or something? I have no idea, but yeah, that's why I save sometimes, because sometimes they just do some crazy things. So as you can see, you know, when I grouped up all these units and I clicked a little bit deeper into the enemy's formation, you know, we were able to get a really good push in here. And as you can see, you know, we have almost half the town square at this point, so I'm going to push a little bit deeper. Let's try to find a kind of a central unit in here. Honestly, this big town militia unit all the way on the end here. They've had it too good for too long, so we're going to go ahead and target them. And yeah, as you can see, you know, my units are just completely just bulldozing over the enemy right now.
General's bodyguard.
I put my general kind of in the middle of it all, but a little bit back from the main fight. So let's just see what's going on. Alright, we just killed another enemy general. pushing, pushing. But as you can see,
My
I mean,
lord,
these,
we've lost control of the city.
these dismounted feudal knights, man, they're not even my best infantry yet, and you know, you can see how good they are to have in a siege like this, because you know, they can actually hold their own in a fight. You know, you're not just going 1-for-1 with the enemy. You're, you know, when they've got like spears and town militia and stuff like that, if you utilize them properly, 9 times out of 10 they will do more, like cost for cost. They will do more work than what the enemy typically does. And, you know, I know my longbowmen have just been sitting back there. I know I could have utilized them a little bit during this fight, but I just, I didn't think it would be worth it with the friendly fire I would have taken. Because as you can see, you know, my blob is, you know, just massive here. So, I mean, all those arrows just kind of raining down on this fight. I just feel like I would have taken way too much friendly fire. So we're just finishing this battle up now. He doesn't have very many soldiers left. And these swordsmen are making very efficient work of everything that is left. Taking a few losses here and there, but for the most part they're just cutting them down. And there's the last 2 guys right there, and there they go. Battle is won.
All of Christendom will be awed by the victory we have won here today.
And you can see everybody's cheering and happy. Took the city. And as you can see, you know, we took 505 losses and killed a little over 1,600 enemies. So we went about 3-1 this battle. Which, honestly, for a siege battle, an attacking siege battle, that is not too shabby. Prisoners captured. Whatever. Scotland is pretty much destroyed anyway. I don't think they have any other settlements.
Glory, honor, victory.
Occupy.
God be praised.
So let's see.
He
Relations
has granted
versus
us
Scotland.
victory.
Abysmal, obviously. We just took their capital. Trait increase, +2 to command for King Rufus. Mission success. We just got 4 units of feudal knights. Papal states very poor. And faction destroyed. Awesome. So with the faction destroyed, you know, that just means we don't have to worry about, you know, Scotland counterattacking us anymore. I mean, their faction is literally gone from the map. So
Sire.
At this point, I'm just going to consolidate my units a little bit here. And I am actually going to press straight out from here next turn, and I'm going to take Inverness next.
Sire.
We just got given all these feudal knights. I'm not paying for them right now, so I'm just going to disband them. As far as this unit of feudal knights, I'm actually going to send them up north just to act as a... because I don't have enough generals for every town, and I like to have at least 1 cav unit to at least act as like an officer in each settlement. So I'm going to send that unit up there eventually to be a general. So let's see. This is Edinburgh, so its population is already massive. Holy cow, it's like the same as London. Okay. So we don't have to do anything with growth. You know, they did that with just a level 1 land clearance as far as food goes, so I might lay off of farms altogether. People in Edinburgh really like to have babies, apparently. So I'm actually leaning towards paved roads now because, you know, we're starting to get into long distances as far as, you know, going from our capital to all the way up north here, like Inverness-wise. So distance-wise, you know, we're having to deal with a lot of range. So getting those roads will just make it easier to move armies back and forth. just get a church in there. I'm not too concerned about anything. Okay.
Yes, my lord. Without question, sire. Tomorrow's...
And we can finally end turn. What I actually wanted to. Alright, so the Pope just died. We just got another mission. Take Inverness and I'll receive 2,500 florins, so that's good. Alright, so because the Pope died, we have the papal election here. This is what I was talking about earlier in the video. So because I have a cardinal, which is just a priest that leveled up enough to become a cardinal, so he's got that fancy job title, I can actually vote on who I want to be Pope. Problem is everybody in Europe gets to vote on who is Pope. So France I'm obviously at war with, so it would definitely not be in my best interest to vote on France to be the next Pope, because then the Pope will automatically hate me. Venice, I already know Venice is at war with Milan. We saw that. So I don't know about that. Now, Spain is an ally, so it would obviously be in my best interest to pick Spain. But if I pick the wrong one, like let's say I pick Spain and everyone picks Venice, then the Pope will at least slightly dislike me. I'm going to go ahead and pick Spain, and we'll see what everyone else does. So let's see what happens. Oh man, thank goodness. So it looks like everybody voted on Spain, and I can kind of see why, because when they asked us for an alliance, you know, they were actually allied with a lot of other people, so they don't seem very aggressive in this playthrough. So because we chose the right one, obviously, you know, the new Pope is from Spain, so you can see his papal standing shot way up, and I was only at a 3, so because I voted correctly, I just got 3 more standing, so that's good. And said relations worsened with somebody, but I don't really care, because they can't do anything about it. Get a leather tanner in there.
My lord.
Get him
Yes.
up north.
We'll make camp here, sire.
So we've got
Hail,
2
my
spear
king.
units there
Sire.
to act as a
As
garrison.
you will, my king.
We'll go ahead and
To
get
battle.
our
Making camp here,
general
noble
moving up
sire.
there. Now, let's see. So, yeah, public order is an issue here just because of the size of the population, and I don't have a very
can
good
go no
garrison here,
further
just 2
today,
spear
sire.
militia units. I'm gonna leave it in the red at 65% public order because I've got these 2 spear militia units coming, and I think it'll even out when I end turn, so I think we're okay. Now here, we can go ahead and get rid of these
Sire.
2 longbowmen. Let's go ahead and get 2 spear militia,
My lord.
get rid of these 2
Orders.
town militia because they don't have the cavalry bonus. And we'll go ahead and get a port going, get some money. You know, we've pretty much reunified all of, well, not reunified, but unified all of the northwestern part of the map here. So my barracks finally finished. And you can see I've got armored swordsmen now as a unit that I can recruit. These are pretty much going to run me the rest of the game. So the dismounted feudal knights, you know, I love these guys. You know, they're a great unit to get early on. You know, obviously those stats, 21 and 13, are just insanely better than levy spearmen. More, you know, 3 times the defense and more than double the attack. But if you look over here to armored swordsmen, you know, they've got 22 defense and 13 attack. So, you know, obviously they've got, you know, only 1 more defense, but the same attack. But the reason I love the armored swordsmen is this right here. If you look at that upkeep, 150 per unit. Whereas these dismounted feudal knights are 225. Now, that 75 per unit adds up very quickly. So I love running these armored swordsmen. I mean, upkeep wise at 150, they only cost me 25 more per turn than just a regular levy spearman, and you get those kinds of stats out of it. Now I do still use levy spearmen pretty much throughout my entire gameplay, and reason being is because of that bonus fighting cavalry, and with 150 soldiers being in each unit, they are very good for garrisoning, for keeping your public order at bay. Alright, so let's see what else we need in Nottingham. We've pretty much got all of our mid-game units. Jousting list would give more experience to cavalry, which will just make them do more damage. But right now, we don't really have any immediate threats, so I'll just do some paved roads for now. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get paved roads all throughout my territories, just to make it easier for me to move armies and stuff around a little bit. Now here, we're going to go ahead and start making our first spies and assassins. If enemies put spies in your cities, they can basically just walk right through your gates in a battle, so I like to keep a spy in there to prevent that from happening. And I'm getting the assassin just so I can start taking care of these heretics and maybe even get a few enemy generals here and there.
Yes, sire.
And get our
Without question, sire.
Right.
Tomorrow's journey.
On.
Sire.
Go ahead and put our feudal
Yes,
knight
sire.
in there to act as our general. And let's just do a quick once-over. We don't need these longbowmen at all now, because this city is no longer in any kind of threat whatsoever. And I can even get rid of this one spear militia unit, just so we're only using the free upkeep slots. Still doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and get the blacksmith. I'm really having a hard time getting this city up to 4,500 people for some reason.
Hail, my king!
Alright, let's go ahead and
As you
attack
command, my
Inverness.
liege.
Get this
Laying siege, noble sire.
last city in mainland. Oh man, he's barely got anything. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna save it, and I mean the balance of power here is just so crazy, and a lot of these units I'm not even gonna keep anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and auto-resolve it. I don't really care how many losses I take for that.
By God's will, we have triumphed!
Go ahead and occupy it.
Victory, my liege!
Repair
A
that.
most
Get an
noble conquest!
upgrade going on it. So at that point, I'm just gonna go ahead and disband my feudal knights.
Sire.
Disband the dismounted
Sire.
feudal knights. Get rid of the
Orders.
catapults. I don't
Sire.
need any of these
Orders.
units whatsoever.
Orders.
I only need
Sire.
3 spear units and 2
Orders.
archers, and
Sire.
that's it. So my income, look at that. My income is going to be huge next turn because I don't have a massive army costing me a ton of money, and we're not really in any crazy immediate threat up here. And down here, I mean, I've got a great defense here. I mean, there's no way France is going to take either of these towns anytime soon. And now that we've got everything up here, I'm just going to tell you guys, it's GG from here. I mean, once you've got all of this under control, you can just keep launching invasions into mainland Europe from here. So, the next few turns, I'll just focus on getting a lot of these buildings done and get another main army built, and we'll start bringing the fight to France and eliminating them as a threat and taking some of these rebel towns as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. You guys were able to see me get a fresh start on this game and conquer pretty much all of the northwest region here, as well as this city here. If you guys do like this content, you know, stay tuned, and you know, if this gets a good enough response from people, I will go ahead and do a part 2 to this, and we'll go ahead and, you know, just start conquering all of Europe, you know. So let me know what you think of this video in the comments section. You know, if you like it, please like the video. If you dislike it, you know, feel free to dislike it. I don't mind, you know, criticism. You know, if there's something you want, you know, you'd like to see, or something you think I could do better, you know, please let me know. And I'll catch you guys next time. So thank you so much for joining me today.